WIFTVPM.
Maze Jackson.
If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like May said. Remy said a Jukathon Day.
Man, we about 60 years old. I be done had a heart
You
attack.
gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, that not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business, business owner, I don't.
You don't like that, yeah.
I don't like that one.
Because I'm the boss of this family.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right.
Well, every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
How about National Join a Positive Black Organization Day? Because I don't want to be recruiting. I don't want to be recruiting and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
With the longtime 34th Ward turning into the 21st Ward, there's only one clear choice for your next alderman of the 21st Ward, Cornel Dantzler. If you live in the 34th Ward, which is now the 21st Ward, vote for Cornel Dantzler in the upcoming election to represent your ward as alderman.
We will work together as a family and as a team so that we can make the 21st Ward one of the best wards in the city of Chicago. Thank you.
Punch 51 for Cornel Dantzler.
Why not Willie Wilson for mayor of Chicago? The criminals won't like Willie Wilson in the mayor's office. Fighting crime is Willie Wilson's first priority. Willie Wilson is ready to take on the criminals. Finally, Chicago, do it right. Willie Wilson for mayor.
Yeah, man. Ideas, man.
You don't have to find me. I'm walking right behind you. And it's so clear to see that you wanna be free. You don't have to find me. I'm walking right behind you. And it's so clear to see that you wanna be free.
Let's go.
Standing my ground, I can't mess around now. It's like my time is in a bottle, captured by your love, yeah. Now I know women's got this thing going on. We can't stay around so long, but I wanna come correct. Baby, get your foot off my neck. You don't have to find me. I'm walking right behind thee. Understand clearly, that you wanna be free. It's the time that you spend making me think within. Is the trust still beginning? Fade away from beginning of the day. I can see you trembling times, and I can see you wondering mine. Is it me considered? The shoot is with it. See, you don't have to find me. I'm walking right behind thee. And it's so clear to see, baby, that you wanna be free. You don't have to find me. I'm walking right behind thee. And it's so clear to see, that you wanna be free, yeah. I'm just trying to be the best I can. You can call me the troubling man. Matter of fact, I'm from the side of the street. Baby girl, you're calling on me at the time that I feel your presence around me. Something that I can't let go. It's your time, everything around me there. I just wanna hold on, but you don't have to find me. I'm walking right behind me. so clear to see that you wanna be free. I just wanna come correct best I can. Baby, get your foot on my neck. And just before you just leave, baby, I've been trying to tell you I can breathe. You don't have to find me, baby, I'm walking right behind me. It's so clear to see that you want me free. Damn pressure, baby.
Oh, baby. I mean, I know that you're here with me and everything, but since you just left a few hours ago, I've just been going crazy. And I done come to realize one thing.
Oh, baby, I miss you. Yeah. Oh, baby, oh, darling. Whoa, 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 whoa. Your love must be some kind of drug, baby, 'cause it just keeps on calling me, and I just need a hit of your love. It's got me shaking and feeling for your touch, baby, of you I can't get enough. It feels like I done OD'd on you, babe. I'm addicted for you. Can't stop loving, 'cause I can't get enough of you, babe. 'Cause I'm so addicted to you. This must be love. 'Cause I can't get enough of your loving. I'm so addicted for you. Can't stop loving. I need you right now, baby. 'Cause I'm so addicted to you. You're always on my mind, my mind, my mind, every day and every time. It's been too long since I had you in my arms, and I don't know if I can take any more of being without you. Even though it's only been an hour, it feels to me just like forever. And I am hoping that I can see you soon. I'm so addicted. Lord have mercy. I can't be without you, baby. Oh no, not for a minute, not for an hour. I can't get enough. I'm so addicted. Woo. I need to check myself into some kind of rehab, 'cause I need some help. Somebody help me, please. Please.
WIFT PM.
Uh-oh, what's in it for the black people?
You are listening to the most dangerous show. It's What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mays Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Mays Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Mays said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case, he was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Lenders give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Yeah. Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Mace Jackson Show, live on the set, in the building. Once again, we are back at it. It's the Mace Jackson Show, broadcasting live from Obsidian. That's right. If you are out and you're about to go get your cup of coffee, you want to see some fireworks, I'm feeling in an instigatorial mood. Is that a word?
We can make it one.
Feel instigatorial, if that makes sense.
If we can make bling bling a word, we can make that a word.
Bling bling. Every time it come around the corner, bling bling. Look, y'all. It's the Mace Jackson Show. It's your man, Mace Jackson, in the building. We are live on the set. I'm really starting to dig this, man. I feel a certain kind of way about. I feel a way about myself right now.
Are you like it here?
I do. I do. I could, I feel like I need to be on the stage, of course. Oh, but I'm here to tell you, I could be a rock star in this mug. I could get, man. If I had a stand, I could do the show standing up.
Get your little opening act here now.
Right. Somebody come in here, get your opening act.
Had a band behind you.
Look, every time I be like, and it'll be boom, boom. We got the band, like we got the little, we still ain't. See, Mo Fitz done got us out here bogus because Mo Fitz supposed to have our sound wired up, so we supposed to be like when we had a concert up here, it'd be. Well, excuse me, we don't have concerts. What we do is we have social entertainment for our team. But I'm gonna tell y'all, if y'all have yesterday, they was getting a little frisky in the joint.
Like Monday, it was like they still had on the little head protection on Monday. You know what I'm saying? Then Tuesday they came out was like, all right, we're gonna at least make this an 8-rounder. You know how it keep going up until they reach the high.
Oh yeah, Reese. And today I told you I feel like what's that they be saying?
Sister Erica be in the chat talking about y'all messy. I might get messy today.
Sorry.
It might be a little messy today. I might have to go ahead and, I got questions. Sometimes I got questions, but it's okay. I'm feeling away today. I'm feeling good. So let me do this because we live. We got people already in the studio. I see my girl Desiree representing with her What's in it for the Black People shirt on. Somebody got their purse all in my shot. I'm looking at them like, right, you guys gonna leave your purse all on the counter. See, I'm just telling you now. That's how you know people feel safe, right? Because it's like you tell a sister put her purse down, she be like, I'm not giving up the purse. What is that? What you doing here early? Oh man, we got candidates here. Look at that. Early. Early. That's Tavares Briggs in the building.
It's a good brother behind me too.
Well, Tavares, he just sitting in the same spot he sit in on Saturdays, right? Okay. So when he coming for the meetings, he be somewhere in the. Actually, I think you might be in candidacy. He usually sit in, but yeah, we got Tavares Briggs in the building. I know Big John Austin sitting off to the side. We see him in the back in the building too. I see they over there getting strawberries and strawberries and whipped cream. What y'all doing over there?
Too early for that.
Right. This is Wednesday, though.
Oh, it definitely.
So it is week 304 Wednesday, so maybe they just starting early.
On the Wednesday.
I don't know. They got the coffee over there. I think they got Peaches Coffee from the Peaches Coffee doing their thing.
Shout out to Peaches for that.
Hey, man. It's all right, man. I actually dig the joint. There go our director, governmental affairs coming in the building. Look, I'm all late because she probably done snuck in. Right, I'm doing what I tell people. Don't look at the screen. Don't look at the screen. I need to make that. I got to get me when I get super professional, I'm going to have a screen that just plays the live that I'm doing so I can see what's going on. But anyway, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Rule in the building. DJ Riis the Rule on the ones and twos. How you feeling, man?
Blessed by the best. You already know the rest. It's Wednesday. We halfway there.
Hey, man, we a little bit further than halfway. We got to get over the hump.
No, because did you forget you said Saturday, so we halfway there.
Oh, Saturday. It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday. Hey, man, on Saturday, though, it's so many damn candidates in the 21st ward. We might have to be on the stage and put them in the audience and shoot back this way.
Get them a microphone.
Right, put a microphone. Just pass the mic. Just we got a wireless mic, too, so we might work that out. But just pass the mic around because 21 people, it's going to be like 21 people, intros. Exits, that's it. It's over. It's like, so you better make that 1 minute good, because good Lord, that's a lot going on.
You better be on time that day.
Oh.
Like 1 minute, that's all you get.
Like, straight up. Zaviola I'm going to be like, yeah, get your sergeant on. You don't get your sergeant on in this joint, because it's going down. But look, y'all, I must tell you, I have been not pleasantly surprised, but I have been pleased with the outcomes here. I was wondering, tomorrow we got a short day because we only got one candidate, so we're going to give Dre his hour interview. But do we think we got somebody else we want to try and squeeze in? And you think, now, we got the super director of governmental affairs, Supreme Booker, Regina Gibson. So we might just put Regina and figure out, we might have to put the executive committee back there together to figure out who we didn't get that we might want to talk to tomorrow. So we'll figure that out too. All right, y'all, but it is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Ruler, on the ones and twos on this week 304 Wednesday. That's my Max Headroom. Y'all still don't know who Max Headroom is, do y'all? Matt. Y'all remember Matt Headroom? And you see it, TV. What's it? It was almost like that Netflix or whatever that commercial was when they act like somebody sit on the remote. You'll be like, it was when the TVs you could have to adjust the knob on the TV. And you ain't realize anyway, man.
Time ago. That was like the 90s, early 90s at that.
No. Max Headroom was like 80s.
Oh, well, I had a TV that. I did have one of them TVs in the 80s.
He's 80s.
Two knobs. You was the man. If you had two knobs, you
had two knobs and a piece of paper stuck in the top knob because you needed to stay right where it was. That's how it all went down.
Well, all mine had the little grips that, for some strange reason, we always lost the knob. I don't know what it was.
Everybody black had a house with a knob off the TV with either a screwdriver or some pliers and turn it.
Like what?
Them TVs made it.
Like who took who idea was it? They was turning in the knob. It came. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna put it back.
Well, there was no Amazon, fam. It was like, where you was going to get the knob from?
But why would you take the knob?
It's because when you trying to fix the TV, man. back in the day, you had to, it was all types of tricks with the little remote, with the thing. Like, now TV's tuned digitally. You don't remember, it used to be a time when you had to be precise.
With the antenna, you had to be real precise with the
stand right here.
Sometimes you had to hold the antenna when if it was their part. Hold it.
Stand right there.
Hold it.
Man, my granny make me stand there and watch all her stories.
Just
holding
it.
the dad.
Yeah, hold it.
All right, y'all. Look, it's the Maze Jackson Show. Maze and Riis. We gotta get the soul plane up and away. We are trying to get to 60,000 feet. Let me see what I got. All right. Did y'all see the news yesterday? Brandon Johnson got the endorsement. Riis, we may officially find the commercial. Find the Anjanette. Brandon Johnson. Now, the question I have, and we'll talk about this in a minute, but Riis, I think you need to play the commercial real quick. Go ahead. I'll tell you when to stop, but turn it up real quick. In case y'all don't remember this moment in Black History, seeing as this is Black History Month, this moment in Black History was brought to you by Rahm Emanuel and Mayor Lori Lightfoot. Here we go. No.
Yeah, I know, because I got the different switchboard in here, but I think I got you.
Today we learned that a Kentucky state grand jury are being added to this role, like George Floyd, or closer to home, Rakia Boyd.
No. Let's just stop. That ain't it.
It just gotta go.
Okay, but I want to.
And why is your administration asking a federal judge to punish Miss Young for sharing video of her own home being raided? And I watched that video.
Just stop it. Anjanette Young yesterday came out and endorsed Brandon Johnson. Yesterday, Anjanette Young endorsed Brandon Johnson. It's interesting. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. We're going to talk about that in the super influence of the Maze Jackson Show. We're going to put that in context just a touch. Just a touch, because, I'm going to put that in context in just a touch. But Brandon Johnson yesterday got the endorsement of Anjanette Young. So we're going to talk about that. Then, I don't know. See, man, these debates done got us all twisted up because I got so much I want to talk about with this mayoral election. You see Chewy came out with a new commercial?
What this one say?
You know me. No, we don't.
Chewy said, yeah, I know him, man.
Look, here go the lick, right?
Respect on it.
This, he said, he talked, well, see, here's what he did. You know that the mayor is now, she like, whatever I get. First of all, did y'all see shout out to Black Men United. Shout out to the mayor for joining Black Men United. I don't know if you saw that, but the mayor is now an official member. Am I lying? I'm not lying. It's. Yeah.
Oh, no.
You all are making fun of me.
I know.
Okay, I'm going to find the
She's
picture.
She's a part of what?
The mayor is an official member of Black Men United.
I'm done with that.
She is. And I'm not, first of all, I don't want no problems with Black Men United. I just want to be clear. I don't want, for everybody out here, hold on. That's Riis laughing. I am not laughing. I am saying that the mayor is an official. She had on her jacket. She took the picture. She is an official member of Black Men United. Now, I'm not tripping out on that at all. The only point that I am saying is right now, the mayor is trying to be down with everybody black in the whole entire world. But has anybody noticed that it's really the West Side only? It's like really the only people really showing the mayor love right now is the West Side. If you pay attention, like it be black people and she can go to some black places, but the reality is the bulk of all of the love that the mayor is now showing is coming from out west. I think it's a mutual, right? And I'm gonna say like this: if she don't win, the West Side gonna be straight for a minute because she writing checks right now. Out west, amen. Out anyway. So the mayor joined Black Men United yesterday. She also bent the knee to Susanna Mendoza. I really want to play this press conference. If we had some more time, I could really break this stuff down for you. But anyway, also Chewy, back to Chewy's commercial. So when I worked when I was a lobbyist, Chewy Garcia ran for something else, and they were trying to take him out, and they showed pictures of his son as a gang member. He is. I'm just saying what allegedly he is a member, is or was a member of the 2-6s, right? It has been honestly, I thought people would be tossing it around a lot earlier. I think that they're concerned that they were going to toss it around. And so Chewy Garcia made his last commercial about almost losing his son to the gangs. His son was caught with a gun, all type of stuff. Right now, Riis, I knew all of this stuff, but I ain't really talk about it.
Meanwhile, Willie can't talk about losing his son to the streets, about getting killed by somebody and want to chase him down like some rabbits, man. See?
That is kind of deep. That
See,
they got.
his song.
Hey, man, but can I tell you what? Remember, I'm going to just tell you, Chewy's people is getting a taste of their own medicine right now, at least on Twitter. I'm just telling you, it was funny because last week Muggs was talking real jazzy about Mays Jackson. A week later, they crying because the Latin X's are whooping on the Latinos on Twitter. I ain't got nothing to do with this. I just been watching, but I do be going back in and being like, "Wasn't you talking about me?" I keep using that Michael Jackson popcorn meme. In Thriller when he eating the popcorn, he be like, So anyway, this is really crazy. I'm just right. That's it. That's it. So anyway, Chewy Garcia released a closing ad that really talks about the fact that we know him and his son was almost lost to the streets. So it's a lot going on. Plus, then the mayor is getting whooped on the last week. They just beating her down, right? That's why she's staying out west, right? She's staying out west because if she come anywhere else, they talking about it, Riis. They whooping her. So Susana Mendoza hit her. She had to do a whole press conference to say, "I'm with you. I'm not against you." Susana was like, "No." And I think, Susana, somebody said she was doing it for Chewy. I don't agree with that. I think she's doing it for Paul Vallis because Susana Mendoza has always really historically been in alignment with the white guys, not the Latinos. Right? She's been, if you think about it, Burke Madigan, so she's going to return to, and right now, Paul Vallis, I know people don't want to hear this, but even the mayor just said it yesterday or 2 days ago that she inserted herself. I'm not sure that she's the one, but she says it's clearly evolving into a race between her and Paul Vallis. And as much as people, I still think that everybody keeps asking me about who is going to be in the runoff. I think that runoff is still a 4-person race. But I do think that Paul Vallis has solidified the traditional white base and is now starting to add. And so right now it'll be interesting to see how this last week plays out. I just feel like Chewy's been lackluster, though. Like, for all of the stuff, I feel like Brandon is surging. I just don't know, does he have enough gas to get into the runoff? To go from 0, but he's spending a whole lot of money. Although, Riis, that makes me say, let's go to break. And make sure when you go to break, you play all the commercials of all the people that have chosen to advertise with us. Considering, hey man, we're going to talk about this when we come back. It's the Mays Jackson Show, broadcasting live from Obsidian. Let me tell y'all, today, 7 o'clock, is the last chance candidate debate. They going to mix it up a little bit. They got a little spicy yesterday. I don't know what we're going to do in these 2 hours coming up, but I tell you what, you don't want to miss it. It is the Mays Jackson Show. Mays, Riis, we got the building. Everybody's getting into the building. We'll be back after these messages.
The Mays Jackson Show will be back after this break. Mays Jackson.
Tune in to the Mays Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m., where you can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Plus, From 6:30 to 8, you can get us on WBGX 1570 AM. That's right, it's the Mays Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them, Mays said. We out of here. Peace.
We can count on Paul Vallis. When Paul Vallis was CEO of Chicago Public Schools, he revitalized our neighborhood schools. No one delivered more for our underserved young people than Paul Vallis. As mayor, Paul Vallis will ensure that communities long neglected get a fair share of city investment, attracting the grocery stores we need, improving sanitation, and other city services in our neighborhoods. Vote Paul Vallis, a mayor for all of us. Paid for by Vallis for Mayor.
Willie Wilson for mayor of Chicago. The violence in Chicago must stop. Willie Wilson pledges real action to do that. A revised police structure, 4 superintendents, more accessible to their neighborhoods, providing faster communication and concentration of resources. Willie Wilson pledges more integrated police patrols to increase community, confidence, and cooperation. Willie Wilson's pledge will make Chicago safer. Finally, Chicago, do it right. Willie Wilson for mayor.
My name is Chris Levy, and I'm working hard to become your next 5th Ward Alderman. As a lifelong Chicagoan, I chose the historic 5th Ward as my home and a place to raise my family. This means I have a vested interest in our safety and prosperity. But we need a change, and I'm the best candidate for the job. I'm not a career politician, but a motivated citizen who cares and will do whatever it takes to restore our community to greatness. My name is Chris Levy, and I want to drive change. Please punch 60 and vote for me for 5th Ward Alderman. My name is Chris Levy, and I approve this message.
Over 25 years ago, Patrick Brutus decided that serving the public was the best way to help his community. And since then, he has been a dependable and trustworthy friend to all. Now, by fighting for safe and walkable streets, new businesses, and retail corridors, Patrick Brutus has the right vision and the most experience to lead the 6th Ward. On Election Day, punch 53 for Patrick Brutus, because he's our choice for Alderman of the 6th Ward.
With the longtime 34th Ward turning into the 21st Ward, there's only one clear choice for your next Alderman of the 21st Ward, Cornel Dantzler. If you live in the 34th Ward, which is now the 21st Ward, vote for Cornel Dantzler in the upcoming election to represent your ward as Alderman.
We will work together as a family and as a team so that we can make the 21st Ward one of the best wards in the city of Chicago. Thank you.
Punch 51 for Cornel Dantzler.
And now, traffic and weather.
Yo, who said devotion had to be sad? Yo, check this out. The Lord is my shepherd, I want. He's making me to lie down in green pastures. He leading me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. God's gonna turn it around.
Come all the way with me.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 6:37 a.m. I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area sports, traffic, and weather update. As we head over to sports, the Chicago Blackhawks taking on the Golden Knights in the UC. Johnson will score the shootout goal as the Blackhawks will edge the Knights 3-2. Let us head over to traffic on the Kennedy. O'Hare to the Loop will be 24 minutes outbound. To O'Hare will be 18 on the Edens. From Deerfield to the Exchange and back will both be locked in at 30 minutes, while the Eisenhower is 35 minutes Thorndale to the Loop, 27 minutes back out to Thorndale. On the Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan will be 40 minutes outbound, will be 30, while the Bishop Ford is 40 minutes from I-80 to the Dan Ryan, 31 minutes to I-80. The Dan Ryan, 17 minutes to the Loop, 11 minutes to 95th, while DuSable Drive is as usual locked in at 8 minutes all around. Today's weather, it is currently 35 and cloudy. Today will be a high of 36 with a low of 32. Expect rain throughout the entire day. I'm Riis the Ruler. Happy Wednesday here on The Mays Jackson Show.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis, the rule on the ones and twos. And y'all know how we do it at 6:30. We got to say what's up to everybody from WBGX 1570 AM. We want to say what's up to everybody from 1570 AM. WBGX, you can check us out every day there, 6:30 to 8. That's where the Saints check us out, 6:30 to 8 every day. Or you can do like Sister Zakia and Big John Austin. Oh, I forgot. Big John Austin is in the building today, so he might not be on his TuneIn app. He in here live. But you can go to your TuneIn app, which you can get from your Google Play Store, or you can get it from your App Store. Then you go in there, you look for TuneIn, you download it, then you go into the app, and right there you go put WBGX 1570 AM, the Big Gospel Express. It's where the Saints catch us every day. They catch the ride every morning, 6:30 to 8. Now, if you are an early rising Saint or a sinner, then you can join us every day, 6 to 9. That's right, 6 to 9 on the Maze Jackson Show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. That's right, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Now, I'm telling y'all what, it's getting ready to get nice in the building. I see people from the 6th Ward already showing up. I think they on the other side trying to get them some candy and popcorn and hot dogs and all of that stuff. They probably trying to see if it's a birthday cake over there too. You know why they trying to see if it's a birthday cake, Reese? Because this time every day from now until the end of the show, we like to say happy birthday to the peoples. Now, you know, I always said that people say, you know, they be like, oh, don't make no big. Well, it's certain types of people, because it's certain type of people that had a birthday the whole damn month. Then there's people that had a birthday and they be like, don't say nothing, don't say nothing. But then they want you to say happy birthday. Then they be mad the whole day. I'm one of the people that I won't tell you it's my birthday, but if you don't say it's my birthday, you don't say happy birthday, I'll be out. So that's why Facebook makes it so much easier for you to remember the birthdays. So this time of the day, we going to say happy birthday to you. So with no further ado, let me say happy birthday to Mr. Gregory Foreman, Mr. Julian Sample, Avery Lockhart, Lou Sandoval, Robin Lee, Kenneth Meyer, Daryl Hammond, and Al Hardy. Wait, it's all y'all birthdays? Like today? It's your birthday? It's your birthday. Happy birthday, because it's your birthday. It's your birthday. You ready, y'all? It's the time when we sing that happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday to you.
The remix.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday
like
to you.
3 songs in one, y'all.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to all y'all. Look, can't nobody do it like we does. It's the Happy Birthday remix brought to you by Maze, MF, and J.
It's the with the birthday song.
It's the Maze, my friend Jackson. See? I can't see. Look at y'all talking about MF and thought I was going to. My friend Maze Jackson.
My friend.
Oh, Lord have mercy, Reese. Let me just run through a couple more of these headlines and then I'm going to get ready to
any opportunity to sing.
Happy birthday to
That is a fact.
you and many more. See?
Hey, wait. And then Willie Wilson even gave you more of a battery. He said, if I bring in my vid, you got to sing a song.
You know I'm killing it. Willie got the orchestra. I'm going to be like, I'm going to go to the back. I'm going to be like, hit me with the violin.
I don't know. Well, you gave the wrong person. The orchestra is talking about, so you going to sing a song.
Man, I'm telling you, the Willie Wilson Orchestra is going to be on this stage.
Let's go.
I'm just telling you, man. Y'all tripping. Don't steal my dream. Dang it, one day. All right, let me see. Did I tell y'all the mayor sent 9,900 emails to the students? She said it was only 2, but it was 9,900. You know when they do the 9,900, that means it's like 10,000. They just want to round it down a little bit because people like 99. 6 days from the moment of truth, Reese. We're going to have to put, on Monday, everybody got to place a bet on who they think the 2 people are, all right? We're going to do bets. We're going to take your bets. We're going to listen down. We're going to make bets of money. Reese, Y'all, everybody pray for me tonight. I'm nervous again. Holy Trinity.
50.
Amen. Holy Trinity tonight, man. Tonight, we take on Latin school. You know, the wealthy and the well-respected. We taking on Latin school tonight, man.
Are they good?
They big, man. I told you we don't even got no 6 feeters. But I'm telling you, we got heart. I'm like, man, let's go, fellas. All right, so y'all be on the lookout. If y'all don't come to, we going up to DePaul. If we ain't at the DePaul, not the big DePaul school, the high school.
Okay.
We going there. But I'm telling y'all, root for Holy Trinity tonight. Send y'all prayers up. Shout out to my guys. We want to see them shoot lights out. Southside, you know they canceled Southside. The show Southside, HBO.
Really?
Third, they said no more. They cut it out. I thought they was on their way, man. After 3 seasons, they whacked them. But maybe somebody will pick them up. All right, y'all. Just wanted to point out, Reverend Meeks. Y'all see Reverend Meeks in Cranes? Reverend Meeks is no longer Reverend Meeks. Reverend Meeks is now a housing developer.
Okay.
Shout out to Reverend Meeks who said, man, I'm about to blow this popsicle stand. I'm about to get out this building kingdoms for the Lord, and I'm about to build me a house on this land. Shout out to Reverend Meeks, who is now a proud development partner over, I think he plans to build 200 houses. That's a come up, Riis.
Affordable living houses.
Uh-huh.
That's good.
That's a move. It's a move. Shout out. He's over there with David Doig. And then I just guess my question is, do y'all think anybody can stop Vallis from making it to the runoff? Is there anything that could stop him? All right. Riis, it's about that time. What I want you to do very quickly is now I want you to go back to the original Anjanette commercial, and I want you to play it. All right? And I want you to take it from the top because I want it to be the setup.
You want from the top?
I want the
Young go the whole thing. You don't want the whole thing, right?
No, I just want the commercial that when I say hit it, right? So then I want you, and make sure you turn it up so everybody in the studio can hear it, right? And so we can turn our mics down and you turn it up, and then once that comes off, then you do it. Ready? So Riis, play the commercial for me.
And will do everything in my power to protect you.
Regarding the CBS 2 story last night about the raid on the social worker's home, why did your administration go to court to try and prevent the body camera video from being broadcast? And why is your administration asking a federal judge to punish Miss Young for sharing video of her own home being raided?
And I watched that video. This case was litigated in federal court. The federal judge put in place an order. There's allegations that she has violated that. A federal judge put rules in place. It's for that judge to determine whether or not that was appropriate. I'm not going to sit here and second guess a federal judge or how the information related to that matter was handled. That's for that judge who I know and is very competent and I'm sure will be fair in assessing.
Because the COPA has not yet made a decision in 22 months on this?
I just, look, we got to fess up and we got to clean it up.
You have the wrong place! You got the wrong house! You got the wrong house!
We will and we must continue to say her name.
Riis, that is the edited version of the commentary and the screams of Anjanette Young. I told you I had an opportunity to speak with the mayor, and she looked at me and she said, look at me. Am I not black? What? Look at me, sir. Look at me, sir. And, I told you what I used as the reference point. I said, well, when you were on City So Real, you didn't say that you were black, and, the black and the black. You didn't say black. But really the epitome of the anti-blackness came in her response to Anjanette Young. And Riis, for whatever reason it is, I cannot get those screams and that imagery out of my head. And right here on the Mays Jackson Show, from the moment that it happened all the way, it might be 2 years since that happened, we have never let it go. And then I came into the house yesterday. I turned on the TV, and I saw that Anjanette Young had endorsed Brandon Johnson. Now, I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure that Anjanette Young changes anything politically. But I think two things came out of that to me. One, it felt like a direct response to our listening audience. I don't know that it was meant for the world. Please pardon me if I take a moment to say that the Anjanette Young endorsement was not for mass consumption. The Anjanette Young endorsement was for the Mays Jackson Show listening audience and conscious black people who are out there. I don't think that the Anjanette Young endorsement was not for the masses. The Anjanette Young endorsement was for you, this listening audience, this viewing audience, the people that have heard that sound burned into their ears ad nauseum. And I think it was a direct and indirect message to our listening audience specifically. Because, Riis, and this is why I say that, I want you to hit the button.
For the social media question of the day.
Because, Riis, I want to know, do black people even still care about Anjanette Young? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Do black people even care about Anjanette Young? See, guys, I don't mean this in an egotistical manner. I mean this in a manner that we know that the powers that be, the candidates, the movers and shakers in the world listen to this show, and they have been, if they listen to this show, they cannot escape the Anjanette Young issue. Let me say this, and I mean this in the least of, I see you back there peeking, Regina. If I was the candidates, though, I would have been sitting all up in this time because I would have got all this camera time. Anyway, I gotta be honest with you. Just knowing how black people are in the world, if we forgot about Sandra Bland, not forgot, but with all of the things that have happened, I gotta say, probably in the grand scheme of things, Anjanette Young is not the worst thing that has happened to black people in the city of Chicago.
Do you think it also said under the leadership of Brandon Johnson that something like this mayor won't allow what happened to her, the things like that, to stand? Do you think it also showed that too, though?
I think it was a signal. Like, you know how when you watch it, remember how, like, when the guy got caught by the Israelis or the Palestinians or whatever, and he was like, he was blinking the whole time, like, blink, 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 blink. Like, he would be like, yes, I am, the Americans are the worst, but he was going blink, 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 blink. Like, I truly, honestly I don't think that politically the rest of the world is going to be like, oh my God, oh my God. Uh-oh. Oh, Lord. So, okay. So I don't think that black folks care about Anjanette Young to the point that they would fall on their sword for it, right? Like, I think that there has been so much, as Riis, what you young people call it, trauma. There's been so much visual trauma of black folks that I don't know that in the grand scheme of things, I don't know that people are going to be moved. The electorate is not going to be moved by Anjanette, the endorsement. But I do think that he was sending a signal to the conscious black people in the city.
Yeah, but it could also sort of say that's kind of like if somebody was running and the family of George Floyd endorsed that family. You know, it kind of.
But do you think she has that status? Like, I feel like most every time I bring up Anjanette Young, y'all be like, man, she got paid.
She did get paid. But
she got her money.
But her story still resonates. So as long as they keep telling her story, and like as long as she get up there and she tell her story, and then she always say, you know what, I believe that under Brandon Johnson, that things like this, the way that black people get mishandled and misused, under a Brandon Johnson leadership, those things won't happen. So it's kind of, they showing you like, like she believed in that, like, look at this woman. They came in there, did that to her, and she believed that it was the wrong leadership, and she's up here supporting this person. So it all depends on how you really look at it. As long as they tell the story with it, like, she just can't come up there and be like, she's so well known, like, but like, as long as she tell her story and make it sound sad, just like that, then yeah, it'd be all right.
Can he use that? Now, can she use that? Now, let me ask a question. Can she use that, or so what does he do now? Because I feel like it is, like, you got to play the video. Like, I don't know that Anjanette Young resonates with black folks in that way.
The story, and then you got to think about who is being, like, told to, like, which one of the voters, You tell somebody like that in there, like the main voters are 35 and up. If you tell them, man, that's a sad story to them, They don't want to hear about you getting paid. They still feel that in the election, like, oh, snap, like, you really let that go on, Mayor. Even though she still get paid, that still wins him some kind of votes.
All right, do y'all think it's going to make a difference? Anybody in the room
I don't think that make a difference, but I do think that you can see him get about a point or two up.
Okay, Riis says she's going to get a point or two. I am of the belief that it won't move the needle and that black people really don't care. They be like, man, she got her check. She need to move on. I think if we didn't play Anjanette Young, if we ain't played the Anjanette Young commercial, you think anybody would be talking about Anjanette Young?
I mean, no, because if you really look at, especially in today's life, like,
she's alive.
It happened. It went to court. She got her bag. So it's kind of like, you got to sometimes you do have to let it heal. It's an unfortunate situation.
Let it go.
But she
let it go.
She did get paid, and if she's happy with,
she wasn't happy with getting paid though.
Well, did she take the money?
Oh, see.
If you ain't happy getting paid, then you ain't gonna take the money. If you took the money, then that's some form of acceptance. You got to move on with your life too. Maybe she don't want to hear it no more. Maybe she just did it.
Tell me to stop playing that damn commercial.
To move past it, So it's some different angles, but yeah. But I do like the direction. It seems like every day or every other day we always saying what Brandon Johnson is doing.
I'm wondering, can he put
probably don't need to advertise on here if we keep promoting. All right. You gotta say, did y'all see what Brandon Johnson did? Well,
so who was the person who told me? Somebody called me and told me that he was he actually, his guy told me that they was gonna buy some ads. I think they probably got mad after we talked about the other thing. No. Man, see, this is why everybody be so man, it's a shame to me that What's in it for the black people media has to go out of business because we can't get no advertising. Y'all spent $2 million. Y'all done took these people dues money, and y'all still ain't get. Y'all done mortgaged the dues from somebody else, and we ain't even get. Riis, it's only $50 a spot. Damn, man, when everybody, I got some ice cream, and you can't have none. Okay, I see how y'all do. See, my cousin at the barbecue kicked me to the curb. All right, though. It's the Mace Jackson Show, Riis. Let's do this, man. I think that the building it's good Lord. How many people is running for alderman in this ward? I think we got now, my girl, Regina Gibson, she does a great job getting all the candidates here. So when we come back, you all, we are going to be prepared for the last chance debates. Are y'all ready for the last chance candidate debates? Well, today we are getting it in with the 6th ward. So the 6th ward candidates are on the other side of the building. We're going to have them come in, fill in, and when we come back, we are going to jump right into it. It is the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Come on, man, DJ Riis the Rule on the ones and twos. We'll be back after these messages.
The Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Why not Willie Wilson for mayor of Chicago? The criminals won't like Willie Wilson in the mayor's office. Fighting crime is Willie Wilson's first priority. Willie Wilson is ready to take on the criminals. Finally, Chicago, do it right. Willie Wilson for mayor.
Hey, Chicagoland, all roads lead to Solo Beauty Supply, the largest black-owned beauty supply in Chicago. We carry a large selection of natural hair care products, plus much more. So come see us at one of our two locations, located at 9011 South Ashland or 8158 South Cottage Grove. Our inventory is growing, and with your support, Solo Beauty will continue to be a source of pride in our community.
I've never been lucky at love, no never. I've never been good at holding on. A heart broken so many pieces, but I'll just keep on moving on because I'll never give up on love, no never, no never. And I'll never give up on trust, whatever come what may. All that I wanna say, that true love's gonna come my way. Alright, I'm looking for a lover for me. Could you be the one for me? Yeah. Alright, just looking for forever for me. For me. See, I never ever thought that I could love again. I never ever thought that I could ever win. But don't ever give up, no, and don't ever give in. See, I pray that true love finds me in the end. I'll never give up on love, I will never. And I'll never give up on trust, I will never. Looking for a lover for me. See, I'm looking for a lover for me, yeah. And it's alright. Looking for forever. I'm looking for forever. For me. I wanna come home every night, hey, and make love to her right. Remind her that she's the only one that I need. She's the only one. I'm gonna treat her like my See, I'm gonna give her everything. Whatever she needs, plus a 10-carat diamond ring. Baby. Woo. I'm looking for a lover for me. Looking for a lover. Could it be you? And it's baby, it's alright. Looking for forever for me. I'm looking for forever.
As we take this journey through life, we face trials and tribulations. But just know, the enemy is not gonna win. Cause the storm is almost over. That's right, the storm is almost over.
Don't you give up, you come too far to turn back now. Hold your head up, it's almost over. So set up to take you to your destiny. It's gonna be alright. Everything happens for a reason. Yes, this is your season. Just keep on believing. Blessings you'll be receiving. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It will be alright. Throw your hands to the sky, lift your head up high. The storm is almost over. Everything is gonna work in your favor. You don't have to worry no more. What you're going through won't last. There's a test to take you higher. Just keep the faith, hold on, believe. Storm is almost keep moving. Don't let nobody stop you. Know you're getting closer. Almost over. You're a soldier. Now fight your way to victory. It's gonna be alright. Everything happens for a reason. Yes, this is your season. Just keep on believing. Blessings you'll be receiving. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It will be alright. Throw your hands to the sky, lift your head up high. The storm is almost over. Everything is gonna work in your favor. You don't have to worry no more. What you're going through won't last. It's a test to take you higher. Just keep the faith, hold on, believe. Dark clouds may rise, strong winds may blow. It's hard to see through the rain. You gotta hold on. Be strong. Everything is gonna work in your favor. You don't have to worry no more. What you're going through won't last. It's a test to take you higher. Just keep the faith, hold on. Just hold on. Be strong. Don't give up. Just hold on.
Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work with nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work with nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Wake up in the morning with the frown on my face, 'cause I know it's another day that I gotta face now. For people I don't wanna see, working at a job that I don't wanna be, breaking my back to the bone with nothing to show. But I got dreams and goals. But as soon as I clock in, I'm ready to go. So there's one thing I gotta know. Why money ain't free? Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? Give it to me. I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free?
Working in that 9 to 5, got your girl hella tired. Why won't they let me be? Now I understand why my mama always used to ask, did I think money grew on trees? I got these bills after bills and they just keep coming. Working overtime, but my pockets ain't flooding. Yeah, my funds low. Adult life is scared.
Why money ain't free?
Why it ain't free?
Why can't you just give it
Why
to me?
can't they just give it to me?
I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me.
Why money ain't free? Yeah.
Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work money grows on trees, always asking for allowance and clean one thing. Sick and tired of my funds being low. Spent the whole bag on the groceries at the store. Got a little something, but I need a little more. And I'm a single mama, you should already know.
Why money ain't free?
Why the money ain't free?
Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work, but nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it
Won't
to
you
me?
give it to me?
I don't wanna work, but nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free?
Why the money ain't free?
Why money ain't free?
Why money ain't free? Yeah, why money ain't free? If I gave you my love, I tell you what I do. I'd expect a whole lot of love out of you. You got to treat me good.
Back to the Mays Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mays Jackson. Mays Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
What's in it for the black people? Cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't toast no more. I told y'all, yeah, this a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies, not other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Mays and Riis and Ruthie and Ty, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressed to solve wrong.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Mays Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mays Jackson, in the building. And you know what, man? Hey, DJ Riis the Rule, I'm feeling a certain kind of way. So, look, we live in the building, and I think we got to make some noise. So, let's do this before we go, because, you know, we got the live viewers. Y'all got about 350 people watching live right now. So, take a moment, share the broadcast, do your whole thing. But let's give everybody a big round of applause. Everybody in the building, make some noise real quick so we can let everybody know y'all in the building. Look, y'all. We are about to. Look at me doing all this, and I'm looking at all the people trying to make sure everybody's on the camera. Whew. All right. Now, in the building, y'all, we have you. This is the Mays Jackson Show, and I just want to thank everybody for coming out today. This is the third in our, what is this, 6-part series of the last debates for the candidates, right? There's been a lot of conversations, a lot of people running for office this go round, and one of the things that I have seen is that everybody has had a forum in our communities, but oftentimes, and here we go, look at me with the our communities. There's been a lot of people that's been doing a lot of forums, a lot of information sessions in the black community, and oftentimes the questions that black people want answers to don't necessarily get asked, and there's not necessarily been a safe space where you can talk about the issues that impact black people in the city of Chicago. It's become politically incorrect in some ways to speak on issues that are specifically related to black folks. Now, let me be clear. I recognize that everybody up here in the ward in the 6th ward has a diverse ward, right? We saw stories of people with houses now going for $300,000, white folks knocking on your door saying, how much you want for this house, right? So we know that there's tremendous housing stock, and we know that blacks, Latinos, Asians, diverse communities are all part of your ward, right? So today I would like to put up the force field and say today we want to ask you to talk to the black constituency. There are very few outlets. We consider this a vein, a line straight into the black community, and so we hope that you will be comfortable enough in this space to feel free to deal with issues that relate to black people without being attacked, without feeling as though you're excluding anyone, okay? So today we got in the building, I want to welcome you all. We're focused on black issues. I want to thank my sponsors, What's in It for the Black People Media, What's in It for the Black People Political Action Committee, and BP1, who has been here staffing, making sure all of the arrangements are here. I also want to make a big acknowledgement to our Director of Governmental Affairs, Miss Regina Gibson, who has done a yeoman's job of reaching out to all of the candidates. All of our debates have been very, very well staffed. All right. Man, good Lord, I need to give me some flowers like that one of these days. No, I also want to welcome you all to Obsidian. This is our black social club. This is a place where black people meet. It's a living social network where you can come, have conversations, discussions. Where do we go when we want to talk about the issues that impact us, solve the world's problems, etc.? So we hope that all of you, regardless of what status you have, will at some point come back, join us, and become a member. And instead of us always having to go to the Soho House, having a place of our own. Finally, got to send a big shout out to Zaviola Coleman over here, who is our timekeeper. She will be watching the time. I'm going to ask you to make sure that you stick with the time. Sometimes I may extend. I will take host privilege, and if I decide that we want to extend your time, we will do that. And I'm going to try and be as balanced as possible. Everybody will not get all of the same questions, although I will try to make sure that everybody gets an equal amount of time. If there is something, this is a debate, right? This is not a forum. So if someone name checks you, if there is something that you would like to dispute in the process, I would ask that it's to remain orderly. Just give me a hand sign, and we'll try and make it at least up to 3 comments, and then we'll give it the person, whoever is being challenged, the opportunity to close on that. All right, there's not a super formal way to do it, so please don't try and hang me for some special rules. We're going to try and do as much as we can and try and get as much as we can in these 2 hours, a little bit less than 2 hours. All right, so what we'll do is we'll start right now with a 1-minute introduction. You don't have to use the whole time if you do not feel obligated. I will ask you, when you hear the beep, to complete your sentence. I will give you if you start a second sentence, then if you start another sentence after that, then you're going to force me to be a little bit ruder than I would not like to be, okay? So with that in mind, I'm going to, and then guys, bear with me, I am going to try and zoom in on you on the cameras. I also want you to be careful as you're watching the debate. Remember, that is like 30 seconds behind, so do not look at the camera. Don't respond to the TV, respond to the questions, etc. All right, y'all, with that in mind, let me say everybody who is here. We have Sylvester Baker. We do not have Curtis Longbay, right? Tavares Briggs, Kirby Bergens, Tavares Briggs, Patrick Brutus, Kimberly Agoin, Asia Kearney, Sharon Pincham, and Mr. Richard Wooten. Mr. Wooten, I'm glad your name was Wooten so we could stick you on the end and we wouldn't have to mess up our alphabetical order. All right, with that in mind, I'm going to start alphabetically, and I'll go down the row, and then I'll try and come back this way, and then I'll try to give everybody at least an opportunity to take the lead on the question, if that's fair, okay? All right, we will start with you, Mr. Baker. Dr. Baker, excuse me. Dr. Baker, please give us a 1-minute introduction. You guys need to share the mic, and so be prepared. So Patrick, you know that it's going to go to Tavares first, so make sure he's got it so we don't have to do all the shuffling. Reese, if you can take it down when we're shuffling, that'd be great. All right, okay. Dr. Baker, 1 minute.
Okay, good morning, Mays, and what's in it for the black people. I'm running for Alderman because public service is in my blood. My father being a 24-year veteran. I myself, a 22-year veteran of Cook County Sheriff's police department. I currently serve as police inspector with the village of Dalton, the police out there. My education consists of a bachelor's, master's, and PhD in psychology with a second master's in public administration. As the 6th Ward Alderman, I plan to focus on making the ward a cleaner place, a safer place. I plan on addressing the senior issues and concerns, and also plan to implement a economic and development program. The platform of alderman is a powerful position, and I am committed to using that platform for the good of the black community.
Finish? All right. Thank you. Next up, Mr. Kirby Bergen.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kirby Bergens. I am a middle school science teacher, a public servant, a community activist. I want to first start off by thanking What's in It for the Black people for the invitation to be here today. And I want to also thank you guys, the listeners, for participating in this form of democracy. There is a lot at stake here: crumbling infrastructure, out of control crime, and most certainly need for housing affordability. But the fundamental question that you should be asking yourself is, who sees you? Who will fight for you? Who most certainly will stand up for you? And most importantly, who will show up? Because that's the choice in this election. I couldn't think of any other way to serve the 6th Ward by being your alderman. So I'm excited and eager to go over my plan on why you should elect me.
Next up, Mr. Tavares Briggs.
Good morning. Welcome to What's in It for the Black people. My name is Tavares Briggs. I'm a candidate for 6th Ward Alderman, and I want the people to know that I'm a father, I'm an educator, I'm a husband, but most of all, I'm an advocate, and I'm a member of the community. Currently, I serve as the local school council community representative for Ruggles Elementary School. Very passionate about working with our young people, and I've made a living. Not only I've been passionate about working with families. Being a voice for our single mothers, being a voice in the community. I think right now we have a lot of things that's on this ballot, and I want to be the person that understands. Hey. Transparency is on the ballot. A time for change is right now. It's very, 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 very important that we look at the candidates, look at the interests, and choose a candidate right now that's here to do what needs to be done. Thank you. Punch 61.
Thank you. Mr. Patrick Brutus.
Good morning. Good morning, Mays. Good morning, Riis. Good morning to the What's in It for the Black people audience watching live on all your platforms, Facebook and YouTube and Twitch. I am Patrick Brutus. I am running for alderman of the 6th Ward. I am happy to be here, and I am ready to talk to my colleagues and face all the tough questions. Simply put, we used to be a hardworking, middle-class, business-oriented black community in the 6th Ward. We got to get back to that. We have lost our way, and we have a lot to do, and we have a lot to undo. That's what I'm for. I want to take care of our folks who have recently retired. I want to make sure we have black businesses, and I want to make sure we take care of our people and restore this community. The Ready Day One agenda is a black agenda. I look forward to talking about this with you all today. And again, thank you for the invitation. I'm happy to be here.
All right. Look, we got two fellow Illini sitting next to each other. I hope y'all are still. Let me just make sure. Let me do a check real quick. ILL?
I&I.
All right. I just wanted to make sure everybody was okay over here. All right. Next up, we've got. Asia. Hold on. Let me do that one more time. So we got. Hold on. And I got all three of the fellow Illini in the same shot. So let's do that one more time. ILL?
I&I.
All right. Next up, Miss Kimberly Agoin. Kimberly, please tell us, give us a 1 minute breakdown.
First of all, it's nice to be with you again, Mays. And I want to say hello to all the people in What's in It for the Black people audience here. This is something that is long overdue. Black people in general are tired of being treated like animals. And that's one of the reasons why I'm in this race. The 6th Ward is a strong black middle class community that is historic, one of the highest voting population and the highest number of voters in the city of Chicago for years. And we are having an issue because there's a failure of leadership, and that's really the bottom line. There's nothing wrong with the people, but there's something wrong with the leadership. I'm here because of my training. I have actually trained to do this job. I was trained under the tutelage of former Senate President Emil Jones Jr., where I learned how to bring the money back to our community for Black people unashamedly, unapologetically, for Black people. And I look forward to having this discussion with you because what's happening to us is ridiculous. And I know that I have the skills and the ability to work with everyone to bring us back. Thank you.
All right, next up, Miss Asia Kearney. Asia, how are you today? And please give us your 1-minute breakdown.
I'm good. Thank you for asking. Thank you, Mays, and What's in It for Black People for having us here today for this forum. My name is Asia Kearney, and this is basically this has been my life. I have started with my mom. She was an assistant to the late Alderman Lorraine Dixon, went to many, many ward meetings and activities and events, and my love grew for politics. So I got involved in the Young Democrats after coming back from college, and from there we register young people to vote, engage them in the political process. Since that time, I have worked in both county and state government. I've also worked with grassroots organizers, not only John Stroger, our committeeman at the time, but also the late Reverend Dr. Leon Finney at his church as well. So I have community experience of working grassroots in the community. It's just the love for me, the love of being able to help people to make our communities better, to make our community, help our communities to thrive. It's just an honor for me to serve the 6th Ward, to serve our residents, to serve our community. Thank you for the opportunity. Punch 59.
Miss Sharon Pincham, welcome. And we'd like to hear your 1-minute.
Okay, good early morning, Mays, and good early morning to the audience of What's Up for Black People. My name is Sharon Pincham, and I am here today in order to be considered for 6th Ward Alderwoman. I have a quote. My late great father-in-law, the Judge R. Eugene Pincham, used to say that being in public service requires 2 things: integrity and vision. I'm going to add one more thing: experience, all of which I have, and I live by this creed. For 20 years, I served as the director of a program in the state of Illinois providing in-home care to elderly, non-elderly, disabled individuals to a budget of $300 million to serving 30,000 people statewide. One thing that I did that I'm very proud of.
You can put a period on the sentence. You can finish the sentence.
Is that I was able to bring contracts and grants to Black organizations.
Thank you.
Period.
All right. I appreciate. Thank you for respecting the clock. And finally, Mr. Richard Wooten. Yikes. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
All right. First and foremost, I want to say it's great to see you again, Mays, and thank you for having us a part of the What's in It for the Black People. It is very important that we focus on this opportunity to become the next alderman for the 6th Ward. I am by far the best qualified candidate to be the alderman for the 6th Ward. I have a proven track record. Not only am I a United States Army veteran who served in the Desert Storm War, but I'm a Chicago police officer who served 23 years. I fought for police reform. I'm also a community leader. I'm a pastor, and I'm an advocate for the community. For over 30 years, I've been working hard to actually make a difference in our Black communities. And I want to make sure that people understand that I'm not doing a name drop thing. I'm doing an experience thing. I'm one to actually get out here and do the work. I fought for police reform after the Laquan McDonald shooting, and I got some very good results out of it, where we actually sitting right now with the consent decree. We have COPA, and we also now have where we're now electing a council to help actually continue to build the police department in our Black communities.
All right. Thank you, candidates. So some of these questions that I'm going to throw out here today will be yes or no. Simple yes or no, right? Yes or no. Not yes, but, not yes. Yesterday they got me with the yes, buts. But today I need a yes or no, okay? And today, this one I'm going to start with you, Mr. Wooten, and we're just going to go straight down the line, all right? Do you support aldermanic? There's no timer on this one. Do you support aldermanic prerogative, yes or no?
No.
Do you support aldermanic prerogative?
No.
No.
Yes.
Okay. Patrick?
Absolutely.
Okay. Tavares? Slide it over to Tavares. Help him out, man.
I do.
Okay. Kirby?
Yes.
Okay. And
yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. See, here we go. All right, now look. So I'm going to the no's. Mr. Wooten, why do you not support aldermanic prerogative?
We need to understand the power is not in the hands of the alderman, but in the hands of the people. And we have to bring the people and get the people engaged in order for us to make proper decisions in our ward for our city.
So just follow up on that. Is that not the vote? Because and the reason I ask about aldermanic prerogative, right, is because what we have seen is in the communities where we do not support aldermanic prerogative, someone from downtown is now making decisions that happen in your ward. And so I think that's just an important distinction to make, and I just wanted to make sure we brought it out. So I'm going to let that stop right there, and then I am going to start back with you. Actually, no, I'm going to start with Ms. Pincham. Okay. Ms. Pincham, and please don't, if this question is incorrect, not you answer the question. The 6th Ward, what happened to Chatham? What happened to Chatham, and how would you fix it as an alderman? You have 1 minute.
First of all, what happened to Chatham is that we have been ignored. We have been denied the opportunity to participate in the process. We have children in schools that have no books. We have no programs in our schools for our children to even move forward on. What I would like to see is that we take the school process and bring it into the 21st century, teaching 21st century skills. We have buildings that are dilapidated, that have been allowed to be dilapidated and unaddressed. We have programs that can repair those buildings and put them back on the tax rolls.
Okay. I'm going to move that question to stop. I'm going to move that question to 30 seconds, if that's okay.
That you tell me.
No, you good. You're good. I'm going to come to you, Asia. 30 seconds. What happened, if you can pass her the mic, what happened to Chatham, and how would you fix it as alderman?
I agree with some of the sentiments of Sharon, but I also think it's the lack of strong leadership. Having someone in office that cares, someone who is committed to making sure that our community stays strong and that it thrives. I think that is what the real issue is. We need to have someone in office that represents the needs of the community and works hard to make sure that they're met.
Okay. Kimberly.
Yeah, we went from having an alderman many years ago before my time who actually supported the Illinois Black Panther Party to one that we can't even get into office to have any services done in our community. And as I said before, it's nothing wrong with the people. The people are the only reason why this ward is still in existence. We have what we need, but we need strong leadership and a vision and a plan to move our ward forward, to have the things that everybody else on the north side has, Beverly has, etc. We have to have someone with that type of leadership.
Thank you, Kimberly. Next up, Patrick.
Well, I'm glad she said vision and leadership, because here's what really happened. The population declined as a result of all of the foreclosure crisis that we had about 10 to 15 years ago. And what we have in Chatham, in the heart of Chatham, is we don't have any resources. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with the Department of Housing to create a BANA neighborhood, which is building neighborhoods and affordable housing, and try to redirect those resources to where we can actually flip the program and market that toward vacant homes that are vacant to repopulate our neighborhood. We've got to actually rebuild our communities that way.
Next up, Mr. Tavares Briggs.
To me, what happened with Chatham is not different than what happened in many communities across the city. I wouldn't necessarily put the responsibility on leadership. It's great to have good leadership, but we have to look at the residents. We have to look at the communities. We have to look at the residents of other communities. And what happened to Chatham is the residents in the community changed over time. Chatham is still a proud working class community, but we have to look at the investment. And when things change, you have to put more in. So we have to invest.
Mr. Bergens?
Thank you for this question. I'm going to have to start off with just a bit of history. So in 1987, when Harold Washington passed away, I think that was the down slippery slope for Chatham. The first thing that Daley did was took away these types of elections from being partisan to nonpartisan. So the first thing that they were able to do is slip Republicans into these types of elections by having them under nonpartisan.
Okay, I gotta ask a question. I'm sorry. So, can you just expound on that part just a little bit more about slipping the Republicans in?
So what had happened in these types of election before Harold Washington passed away, these elections used to be partisan, meaning that individuals that is in these elections will have to name if they're Democrat, Republican, or Independent. Now in these elections, they don't have to do that. So now we can be sitting at a table right now with the Republican disguising himself as a Democrat. And so that's what has happened with to Chatham and to all these other black communities.
So just so I'm clear, are you suggesting that the Republicans have destroyed Chatham?
I'm suggesting not just Republicans, but however that process destroyed not just Chatham, but all of black Chicago. When we're seeing contracts being removed, who had to do that? Those are elected officials. When we're seeing opportunities being pulled out, it's not us that's doing it. Those are people that are elected. That is in a government that's doing those things.
Thank you, Mr. Perkins. Dr. Baker, what happened to Chatham, and what would you do to fix it?
A real twist made. What happened with Chatham is drugs and crimes. My parents, they took care of Chatham. It was a beautiful community. When my generation came in, we got caught up on substance. We couldn't take care of the property. We couldn't do none of that. So that made the big switch with Chatham. And what comes with drugs is crime. So what I would do, I guess it's kind of difficult. The solution it's a difficult solution, but I guess I want to meet people where they had bring groups together and try to make grants, et cetera, things like that to try to maybe build Chatham up. But the big issue with Chatham was drugs.
Thank you, Dr. Baker. We are going to return to you, Mr. Wooten. We will give you the opportunity to make the last response to this question.
What happened, Mays, is very simple. Fair leadership and excluding the people and the voters, who is first and foremost the important value in actually making our community a better community.
Okay. Oh, you did that quick. All right, you didn't even get your whole 30 seconds. All right, thank you very much. Very quickly, I'm going to ask this in 15 seconds. I'm going to start with, did I start with you last time, Ms. Pincham? All right, so Asia, I'm going to start with you. Asia, if you could tell us, what does your office staff look like day one? What are the positions that you will have? What are the most important positions that you will have in your office?
Day one for me for my staff is just making sure that I have staff that's accountable, that's available, that is ready to walk, talk, and move around. I know that the big issue is access to public services. People are not being able, not getting a response. I know I've called the office and haven't gotten a response, and those are the major complaints. So making sure that I have a staff that is accessible and that is ready to move forward, walking, talking, knocking on these doors, and making sure that everyone's voice is heard.
Wonderful. All right, next up, Ms. Agoin. Talk to me about what your office staff looks like. What are the most important positions to fill?
Most important positions, of course, we have to work with Streets and Sand to make sure we have that perfect superintendent. So first day we take account of what's going on in the ward and where we really need to put some work in to make sure it looks right and is done right. But my most important position is the person who's going to interface with our city of Chicago and Department of Planning in particular, because we need an actual plan for the ward. We're at a point now where we have chicken store after fish store after liquor store, and this is ridiculous. There is no actual plan for our ward. No one cares about that, so we have to make sure that that is taken care of.
Okay, you stretched that to that period. That was a good stretch. That was a good stretch to the period, though. I like how you did that. Mr. Brutus, I got it. Well, I'm not gonna say she name checked you, but she did. She didn't. I didn't say she name checked you, but she did mention the whole Department of Planning. Yeah, talk to me, Mr. Brutus, because you talk very often about being ready day one. Talk to me about what does that day one staff look like?
Yeah, well, this is a great question because it's important to provide a service to the community that they expect. As a nearly 20-year employee of the city in the Department of Planning, I am ready for this job. So what I would do is add to that experience in my office by having someone who's my chief of staff that knows the city, that knows City Hall. So that's number one. Number two, I'm going to hire someone from the community who has great interaction and great engagement with the community, because we need someone that they know that they can trust. And third, you only get 3 positions, by the way, so just so you know, education. The third position will be someone who can be the ward superintendent who knows the ward. Yep.
There you go. Mr. Briggs, the question goes to you, sir. What does your office look like, your office staff look like day one?
Just to sum up the question that you asked, from day one, I think, walking these blocks since late August, the 6 words deserve a director of community engagement. You know, someone that is listening, someone that is ready to be connective. There's a lot of communities. There's been a hard-fought election, respect to everybody's, but it's a lot of communities, Chatham, Grand Cross, and Chesterfield. We have to have somebody that can connect all communities. So day one, director of community engagement is someone that I want work in the community.
Thank you. Mr. Bergens, question goes to you, sir.
Mr. Briggs took my answer, but I did have director of community engagement, someone in the office that is resourceful, because I do hear a lot of the fact that individuals have a hard time with getting resources from the alderman's office. I want to make sure that our superintendent is ready on day one and is able to work. I'm also going to steal Kimberly's answer, making sure that we have someone in planning that knows the ward, that is going to do right by the ward.
And finally, Mr. Baker, and then I got to come back to this end. I got y'all. Help me out, though. Help me out. Go ahead, Mr. Baker.
Okay, first of
Dr.
all,
Baker.
a chief of staff, a scheduler, I'm a liaison for each demographic, but that would probably come with my contracted employees with that $150,000. That's pretty much my ward is going to look like.
Okay. I am going to bring it back to you, Mr. Wooten. Tell me what your office staff looks like day one.
My office staff from day one, it looks like an office and an agency that's going to service the community well. We want to make sure that, one, we have a youth and senior liaison person that's focusing on youth activities and our senior activities, ensuring that they have the services they need to continue to actually become a more productive and engaging member of our society. We want to make sure that we also have a city services and public safety liaison person that's specifically going to actually deal with the complaints and the things that that our constituents need from the city, as well as
you can finish the sentence
as well as public safety, dealing with the local police departments for our public safety matters.
Yeah, Ms. Pincham.
I liked Ms. Kearney's answer. I have been the director of community engagement for State Senator L.G. Simpson. That's extremely important because we hear the lay of the land and what the problems are. So that would be a definite position that I would have. I would also focus on streets and sand. That is major. That's one of the major complaints that we get from the community. A chief of staff would be good, but I think I can manage that initially going in. But, the other staff person would be someone in the office to be responsive to the residents in order to respond to the questions that they have.
Thank you very much. I want to thank you all, one, for being very respectful of the time. I appreciate that. You got to tell that to the Fifth Ward. Anyway, let me move on. We're going to move out of that bucket of questions and move into one of the hottest topics that is going on right now, and that is the subject of immigration, migration, and housing for the undocumented. And I'm gonna just let me do this real quick, right? So somewhere in these conversations, every time I try to get this conversation out, somebody has a slick response to which people we talking about, right? Here's what I want. No, seriously, and I mean this in a way that is not intended to be offensive to anybody. I think that we do not have to be against anyone to have this conversation, but that we are talking about the allocation of resources, right? So let's start here because I think this will frame my question. I will start. Asia, did you last? You were the last. Okay, so Kimberly, we're going to start with you, and then we're going to come this way. This is a yes or no, right? Do you support monetary reparations for American descendants of slavery?
100% yes.
Okay. Patrick?
Absolutely yes. 100%.
Tavares?
Yes.
Okay. Kirby?
Yes.
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 And then
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Patrick, I see you trying to Jimmy rig my our setup. I see you, the consummate campaigner. I see y'all up here. Everybody advertising water, Patrick advertising himself. It's all good though. All right. So that sets the framework for this set of questions. Kim, I'm gonna come back to you. I'm gonna ask this to be a 15-second answer. And it doesn't even have to be 15 seconds. But will you support migrant housing in being placed in the 6th ward? Kim.
The first thing that I will support being placed in the 6th ward is housing for the homeless people that we have in our own community, and the ones that the buses with the migrants have to roll past that are laying on the ground right now just to get to that housing over in Woodline. This is important. We take care of our people first, and I have no problem saying that. It's a shame that we are not doing that. So that's what I support, taking care of the people who have put the taxes in. I'm sorry.
You stretch that period. You stretch that period, I'm going to let you get away with it. But don't get me in trouble. I got to, my boy going to whoop on me tomorrow. So anyway, Patrick, would you support a migrant shelter being placed in the 6th ward?
I hate to say this, but I absolutely agree with my colleague, Ms. Ogoin. Okay, she's absolutely correct. I endorse that. I, too, would absolutely be advocating for the homeless in Chicago, for them to get housing first. The line starts with black people first, black people last, black people forever, okay? We don't get nobody get their stuff.
Okay. Speaking, Mr. Briggs, your turn. Would you support migrant housing being placed in the 6th ward?
Currently, right now, the 6th ward has over 50,000 residents. About 98, 99% of those residents in the 6th ward is black people. So those are the people in regards to what we see, 79th Street, homelessness. We have to look at those people first, not against it, but we got to look at those people first.
Okay, so did I get a yes or no? Did I hear a yes or no in there?
I said not against it, but we have to look at our current residents first.
Okay, so you would eventually.
Just say it's a maybe, bro. It's a maybe.
Okay.
No. To me, I'm going to be honest. Let me say this, if you give me a second. I did polling, and I asked. I think we have to ask residents. You will be surprised what residents think. So it's not about me. It's about what the community feels. But I am personally in support of the residents that's in the ward and the people that's walking the blocks. Currently, that's who I'm in support of.
Okay. I'm going to let you ride with that. I don't know if I heard a yes or no yet, but I'm going to let you go. All right, next up.
Just jump in for a second, because the people are hiring us for our vision and whatever we say we're going to do. If we get elected, that means in some part they endorse our decisions. And so they're looking for leadership. If we can't clearly say that we won't support black people first here and say we're going to, subject it to a group of minority people, right? Because the polling is not 52,000 people. And by the way, it's 52,000 people, and it's 95% black, the ward, right? But if you live in Englewood, there's a lot of Latinos coming east from the west. They're encouraging in Englewood. So we've got to be respectful to the entire ward and put black people first, second, and third, and last, and everywhere in between.
Thank you, Tavares. No, he didn't get extra time. He rebutted a point. Now, if you want to rebut, you have an opportunity to rebut, or I can pass it on. Then it comes back to the question. Did you have anything you want to go back to? Yes or no? Now's your chance. You got the camera, and I got the cameras aimed on both of y'all, so I don't got to move it around, so you can get it in now.
If you heard me clearly, I said my community first. Okay. Which is, I said, 97% black people. I believe in supporting the community first. But me walking the blocks, the community feel like they don't have a voice. They feel like leadership make the decisions. So I said, we have to listen to the constituents of the ward. And you will be surprised if you look and ask. We did polling. You'll be surprised what the community believes. So I said, let's bring the community to the table. That's what I said.
Okay, I'll take it from there. We'll let it ride. Mr. Bergens. Will you support migrant housing, or would you support migrant housing in the 6th ward?
No, but I do agree with Briggs here that we do need to listen to the community and see what they say. But for me personally, it would be no. We have 65,000 homeless individuals here in Chicago. That's the reason why I'm the only candidate sitting here that supports the Bring Home Chicago ordinance.
Okay. Hold on. So, hold on. You said you're the only person. Kimberly, did you have something you wanted to respond?
That I'm supporting.
Actually, no. Actually, I've hosted several sessions on their behalf for Bring Chicago Home. So that's. Now, I'm just saying, maybe you didn't know.
Okay, I didn't know that, but you don't. I have not seen that on any of
support the
your
ordinance.
website.
I
haven't seen that on your website either, Patrick. I find it hard.
You weren't even at the briefing. You weren't at the briefing.
So I find it hard to believe that you would even support any form of home policy when you're taking money from developers.
Not me.
No, I'm talking about you, Patrick.
Hold it. All right. See, now I just want to say, it's getting a little spicy. It's getting a little spicy around here. We're going to come back to the developers because apparently Mr. Bergens has some concerns about your development. But what I want to do is get through this question. So I want to get back to you, Dr. Baker. Would you support any type of migrant housing in the 6th Ward?
A quick and short answer is no. No rebuttal.
Oh, there, he said no. It's real simple with him. All right, so Pastor Wooten. Am I calling you Pastor Wooten? What am I doing?
Pastor today. I'm going to have to bring some peace and pray for some people up in here.
Reverend Wooten, talk to me. Would you support migrant housing? What would the Lord say? What would Jesus do?
What would Jesus do? Jesus say, peace be still. All right. We have trauma in the 6th Ward, okay, and homelessness is one of the major parts of it, okay? We have to actually bring this conversation to the community and let the community decide. And we have to know and understand this very fact. Just as the name of this show, what's in it for the black people? What are we going to gain out of this here process if we decide to allow this to happen? We can't allow people to come into our community and bypass those who have been living in our community, who's been suffering in our community. We have to make sure that we get exactly what we deserve before we can accommodate anybody else. So
I got to ask you a question. I got my own follow-up to that.
Come on.
Because you just told me you were against aldermanic prerogative, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you told me you're against aldermanic prerogative, how would you go about stopping that if you can't change the zoning? We just saw what happened in the 6th Ward, in the 20th Ward, where the mayor and people downtown made a decision and the alderman really didn't have anything to say.
But you know, with that automatic prerogative, it's a slippery slope, okay? And we know that. We've seen it played in the past administrations, and we've seen it actually, went for the benefit or the better or the worse. But what we have to understand is that until we get people in the community engaged, to help the aldermen actually move in a proper way. See, when I go downtown and represent the 6th Ward, it's not just one person. I want these other 20 to 30,000 voters to be standing behind me as well, because numbers does matter.
Okay, thank you. Start the clock. And again, this is only 15 seconds. This is only 15 seconds.
Okay,
15
let's
seconds.
a little bit more.
Okay.
Repeat the question for me.
Would you support migrant housing coming to the 6th Ward?
I would not support it initially. I believe what everyone has said here, that we need to be able to be about the business of taking care of ourselves and putting our own mask on first, as you do on any airplane. Now, I do want to take issue, however, with something that Mr. Brutus did say, because one of the things that we keep assuming is that we are supposed to be speaking for someone. We are supposed to be the ones that are supposed to be the know-it-all. We do not have the privilege of saying that we make decisions for our ward. We do have to reach out to our ward to make sure that they are in agreement with what's going on. They are the voters.
So that would be interesting, and that's something I would love to talk about as a former chief of staff, right? As a former chief of staff, one of the questions I say is, so how do you do that, right? There's always going to be somebody that says, you didn't talk to me, you didn't ask me, and a lot of those people are the least engaged people until after something happens, right? When we saw what happened at Wadsworth, the mayor told us that the people were upset not because the migrants came, but because the streets and things weren't repaired. We know that the menu only has $1.5 million, so everything can't get done in those spaces. So here, what I don't want to do is put a false perspective in. Let me back up. I don't want to call it false. I want us to be realistic. Part of the reason that people elect you, right, is because they want to trust your judgment. Part of the reason that we're asking these questions, part of the reason that we are having this is because nobody really wants to give real answers, and then all of a sudden it's a surprise, and so the next thing we find out that you was for migrant shelters or you weren't, etc. So right now, I agree with you saying you want to give it to the community, but I think there are big issues that the community can get answers to so that there won't be surprises when it all of a sudden happens. I'm going to park it right there. I'm going to come to you, Asia, and I'm going to park it right there, and then I'm going to come to you, Asia. I'm going to let you do that. Then what I'd like to do, what time is it? It is 7:50. Ooh, it's 7:58. So then what we're going to do is after I let you finish to answer this question, we're going to take a break. But I got a special trick for when we come back after the break, all right? So it's going to be y'all already getting a little seasoned, a little spicy. I'm going to get it a little spicier for when people come back from the break. All right, Miss Asia May, excuse me. You down the May. Asia Kearney, please, would you support migrant shelters coming to the 6th Ward in
Yeah, I along with the other candidates, no. Like everyone else has stated, we do have a homeless problem here in the community, but not only that, because homelessness is not just about housing, it's also about mental health resources. We lack those as well. So it's hard for me to say that I can support a sanctuary city or immigration coming to our community when we have issues with mental health and homelessness.
All right, look, y'all. Thank you for this. First of all, give yourselves a round of applause for this first round of questions. Look, Riis had to fix it up for y'all. It sounds much better on there. Let me do this. We're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to mix it up a little bit. Everybody here, and I want you to use this break to think about this, but you have the opportunity to ask one question of one person on the panel, right? One question. One person, you get to pick whoever it is. You can ask them one question, and we're going to give them the opportunity to respond to your questions directly. Hopefully, then we'll get a little bit more information. We'll get a little bit more out there on the floor. I know some of y'all been doing some opposition research. I know somebody want to know something, and then we're going to get back into it. Look, y'all, this is the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Wait a minute. How many candidates are in the race? And how many we got? Okay, so we got 9. Okay, so y'all see, y'all went to CPS, didn't you? No, I'm just playing. Anyway, so I want to do something really. Let me just say this to the listening audience, and thank you to everybody from WBGX who has been tuned in to us. If you all want to continue, please join us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, because we are going to go one more hour. You can continue to hear from the candidates in the 6th Ward. I think for our listening audience, I think it's important for you to all, and I'm going to read the names one more time. So if you're listening or if you're watching, you can know the people that thought it was important enough to come here and address the issues that relate directly to black people. Right? Some people are told, don't talk to them. They might not. But if people are scared to acknowledge our community, scared to acknowledge black folks when we're not elected, then what does that mean when they get elected? And so I want to thank everybody from Dr. Sylvester E. Baker Jr., Mr. Kirby Bergens, Tavares Briggs, Old Patrick Brutus, Kimberly Kim Agoin, Asia Kearney, Sharon E. Pincham, and Richard Wooten. We want to thank you all for coming out and taking the time to answer the questions that we think black people need the answers to. All right, y'all. This is the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Ruler. I got my super timekeeper in the building, Zaviola Coleman. There, we got a studio full. Hey, look, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after these messages.
The Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break. Mace Jackson.
Tune in to the Mace Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m., where you can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Plus, from 6:30 to 8, you can get us on WBGX 1570 a.m. That's right, it's the Mace Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them, Mace said. We out of here. Peace.
Over 25 years ago, Patrick Brutus decided that serving the public was the best way to help his community. And since then, he has been a dependable and trustworthy friend to all. Now, by fighting for safe and walkable streets, new businesses, and retail corridors, Patrick Brutus has the right vision and the most experience to lead the 6th Ward. On Election Day, punch 53 for Patrick Brutus, because he's our choice for alderman of the 6th Ward.
My name is Chris Levy, and I'm working hard to become your next 5th Ward alderman. As a lifelong Chicagoan, I chose the historic Fifth Ward as my home and a place to raise my family. This means I have a vested interest in our safety and prosperity. But we need a change, and I'm the best candidate for the job. I'm not a career politician, but a motivated citizen who cares and will do whatever it takes to restore our community to greatness. My name is Chris Levy, and I want to drive change. Please punch 60 and vote for me for 5th Ward Alderman. My name is Chris Levy, and I approve this message.
With the longtime 34th Ward turning into the 21st Ward, there's only one clear choice for your next alderman of the 21st Ward, Cornell Dantzler. If you live in the 34th Ward, which is now the 21st Ward, vote for Cornell Dantzler in the upcoming election to represent your ward as alderman.
We will work together as a family and as a team so that we can make the 21st Ward one of the best wards in the city of Chicago. Thank you.
Punch 51 for Cornell Dantzler.
Elect Willie Wilson for mayor of Chicago. Crime is out of control. Parents are frightened for their children. Downtown and our neighborhoods are at risk. Even gas stations are targets. We will fight back to protect our community. Elect Willie Wilson for mayor.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things, what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. Well, since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. But won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale. Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a tan. I hope you find the right man who'll fix it for you. And are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair. Are you busy? And did you have to pay that fine that you've been dodging all the time? Are you still dizzy? Oh, yeah. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Oh, stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over there? Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things, what you're doing. In my head I paint a picture. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Why don't you come on over,
Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mays Jackson. Mays Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Mays Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Mays said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts. Man, Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case, he was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Mays Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mays Jackson, and y'all, we are doing the last chance debates. It is the candidates from the 6th Ward. Now, Patrick Brutus came over and said, we got one on Saturday, so you really ain't the last one. All right, then. All right. Well, we close to the last one. This is probably going to be one of the last opportunities you get to get such an expansive audience. And I say that humbly. I think that one of the things that we try to do is make sure that there is a safe space for black people to have conversations. That's why you're at Obsidian. This place has been created as a place of black thought. It's not necessarily black agreement, but black thought, where you can come, you can debate the issues, you can sit next to somebody who might think something like you, and you all can come and solve the world's problems. So we want to encourage you. We got everybody tuned in to check us out. We've got 3 more of these, so please feel free to stop by and check us out. 5401 South Wentworth. Get a sneak peek in the building. Y'all, I'm going to tell you, we have the 6th Ward candidates in the house. Let's give them a big round of applause. 6th Ward candidates, give yourselves a big round of applause. Great opportunity. Look, the civility that has been displayed here has been wonderful, but you know me, I'm a little messy, right? And I said debates because oftentimes we have gotten into the world of participation trophies where everybody wants to come in and everybody has to get along, which I think we can have difficult conversations without being, I guess, disagreeable. That sounds like the fancy thing. But I do think that there are some issues that maybe we're not aware of some things that you all may have seen or learned on the campaign trail that you may want to ask a question, or, well, you get one. A question from someone here. So to kick this round of the debate off, we are going to ask every candidate here to ask, you get one person, one question. Okay? One person, one question. Asia, did I start with you or did I start with you last time, Kim? All right. So, Mr. Brutus, we are going to begin with you, sir. You have one person, one question. Who is the person first? The pressure is on.
Well, Reverend Hall.
Hold on.
She already said.
Hold on. Paging Reverend Hall. Paging Reverend Hall. Is there an imaginary Reverend Hall? Is he now? Again, I guess I'll leave it up to the audience because there is no Reverend Hall here. So, audience, can he ask a question of someone that is not here by a sound? Oh no, you're not the audience, sir. Bear with me. Bear with me, sir. Audience. Y'all got enough people in here. Should he be able to ask a question of someone that is not here? So, by a sound of applause, hold on. By a sound of applause, if you think he should be able to ask a question of someone that is not here, clap your hands. If you do not think he should be able to, clap your hands. In the opinion of the chairs, and look, in true Chicago fashion, Riis puts his finger on the scale. Brother Brutus, we are going to allow you to ask the imaginary question right after. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Candidate Hall, Pastor Hall. For being the CTU candidate, how is it possible that since the campaign started in August, you just put your education plan on your website last week, where I have had my education plan on my website and have been talking about education since day one?
Okay, so Reverend Hall? Reverend Hall, the phone lines are open. Give us a call. 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. I just must say that this is not going to be a very lively, this is not going to be a very spirited debate if we're going to be asking questions of people who are not here. So in the opinion of the chair, there will be no more questions for people who are not here. We should not waste our time on the people who do not feel the need to be here. Now, Mr. Brutus, you will be the exception to the rule, but moving forward, there will be no more. Moving on to you, Mr. Tavares Briggs. Sir, you have one person, one question. What would that question be?
So let me say this. To me, this election has been about character and not credentials. So, when how they say, you stay high, you don't go low. So I don't have anything derogatory to ask. I will ask one question because it's from my personal, me not knowing. So it's one candidate, it's for Mr. Wooten, and I've heard this. I'm not sure if it's true. That's why I'm gonna ask it, and it's not.
Man, ask the question.
But it's been said that Mr. Wooten doesn't currently live in the 6th Ward. So I'm gonna ask Mr. Wooten whether or not that's true or not.
Mr. Wooten, is it true or not true that you do not live in the 6th Ward? He said it's not derogatory. Sounds kind of spicy to me, though. But anyway, no, I'm just playing. I'm sorry.
Well, Mr. Briggs, the truth of the matter is that I was in the 6th Ward until they remapped it, and they mapped me out of the 6th Ward. But according to the election law, I can actually run in any connecting ward that actually was remapped out of. But when I win, I have a year to move into that ward.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Briggs. That was your question. Mr. Wooten, thank you. We are going to come back. Mr. Bergens, you have one question, one person. Who you got?
Patrick Brutus.
Uh-oh. Why do I feel like it's going to be some Brutus questionnaires around here? All right, Mr. Bergens, the question to Patrick Brutus.
While giving donations to political campaigns are legal, the practice of developers making donations to candidates for alderman or sitting alderman is often criticized as pay to play. Please explain why you accept a donation from a known developer, Frank Spencer, principal at Image Developing Group.
Well, Mr. Brutus, why, sir, did you accept developer contributions, and is that pay to play?
So thank you for the question. As you notice, he's read his question on his phone, just like he has the whole campaign. He has everything written down, and there's nothing that is coming from here or here. This is about integrity. All of my donations, over 192 of them, have come from people that I know. This is an amazing feat, and I should be applauded for that. Thank you very much. Now, with respect to the rules,
No, not a question.
With respect to the rules, the Board of Ethics themselves have decided that $1,500 is the maximum contribution limit amount by those who have city business, correct? So those people that gave me money are within the guidelines. I'm fully within the guidelines, and there's nothing wrong with the donations that I have received.
Okay.
Can I please, because he did say something about, it seems like Patrick Brutus is upset that I'm prepared for debate and to be the alderman of this 6th ward. Don't get mad at me because I researched this thing here. So when we're talking about my notes, yes, I do have notes because I'm prepared and I'm ready. Not on day one, I'm ready now.
Well, goodness gracious, Kirby Bergens. Look, that was a 2-piece spicy. I'm going to move on. Woo! And I am now going to tie. Mr. Brutus, would you like to rebut? Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. You know, I think the people have already decided. This is an election, okay? You just ran for Congress, and you got 425 votes. You got 48 votes from the people who live in the 6th ward. That's why I haven't entertained any of your shenanigans throughout this entire campaign, because you've been very mean to me. And for that reason, you can only answer that question. But as far as notes, people want people who are ready. You know I'm ready because I know it all here. I've been down at City Hall. I've been in the community. I've been doing this kind of work. There's only a couple of us here who absolutely know what we're doing. This is an election where we don't have the luxury of time to elect someone who doesn't have the people's vote, doesn't have the confidence of the whole universe of people who do this work, and certainly we don't have the time because that'll be 5 or 6 steps back. We are a half-glass full community. We have progress ahead, and we need people who are ready day one, ready now, and ready who have been ready for over 20 years.
Time. Because this will go on forever. I do now. You do make me want to know, Mr. Brutus, how many votes did you get when you ran for Congress in the 6th ward? But
I got 16,696 votes when I ran against Bobby Rush. I'm not afraid of taking on the big folks. Okay.
Well, damn, I heard that. All right. Move on. Okay. That's enough. That's all right. I need a fact checker. 16,000 out of the 6th ward.
That's impossible.
That's 16,000 total votes.
Okay.
16,000 total votes.
Okay. That's it, sir. That's it, guys.
It's another one of his facades.
You go look up how many I got.
All right. Gentlemen, as while I prefer a spirited debate, we must stop at this point and move on. Dr. Baker, you got one person, one question. Dr. Baker, who would you like to address the question?
Just one statement. I'm a lifetime student, so I'm always take notes, and I'm always prepared. That's what I do as a lifetime student.
And a learner.
Thank you. Okay, my question would go to Wooten. It's a softball. I hate to say it. But what percentage of your campaign is being self-financed? Yes, sir.
Well, I refuse to be bought, Mr. Baker, so all my funds is coming out of my pocket.
Right.
Okay. I gotta touch on that, right? Because I heard the claps. One of the challenges that this is just personal interjection. One of the challenges that we have in black politics is a lack of economics, right? every candidate that I've talked to has said, man, I'm having a challenge raising money, etc. And a lot of people who would be qualified cannot self-finance. But I think one of the things that we have to do as black folks, black people, is we have to find people that we believe in and then put economic resources behind them. I also need I do have to push back on the concept that if you take a campaign donation, that means you are bought, right? Campaign donations are part of the process, and I love the unbossed. That sounds super, super, super good. It really does. But the reality is there is an ecosystem that has to happen, and part of the reason that we find our candidates not doing what we need them to do is because either they doing it out of their own pocket or there is a dearth of resources, and so they find themselves being put in these compromising positions. So I want to make sure that because here we at What's in It for the Black People, we try to encourage our members to support people that we believe in so they don't have to be bought or bossed. I'm not debating that you are self-financed, but I'm going to tell you that is a recipe for disaster often in cases. I'm going to move on. Mr. Wooten, you now have the opportunity to ask one person one question. Mr. Wooten, I'll turn it over to you.
Well, the individuals that I did want to ask a question to, neither one of them are here. But I will ask just one person up here a question. And it was pretty much discussed with her out there at the early voting site. And it was almost like playing with words towards the people, and that was Ms. Pincham. She has on her cards judge in big bold letters, and then Pincham, and it's very misleading to people because they feel that she's dropping names and trying to use a name that would be...
Give me a question.
Okay. The question is are you trying to mislead the people, or are you just simply trying to mislead the people?
Ms. Pincham, I think the question is, are you trying to...
Am I trying to mislead the people?
Yes.
No. Pincham is my name. I am related to Judge Pincham. I am his daughter-in-law. No, he's not running. If you have a name, you run on your name. I'm running for the same reasons and with the same heartfelt reasons that brought me to this political thing from Judge Pincham. I don't make any excuses for that. He was my father-in-law. He was well known. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm running on my own record. I'm running on my own experience. So the name is mine. I can use it the way I need to.
Okay, use what you got to get what you want. Sound like what she said. Miss Pincham, it is now your turn. One person, one question. Who you got?
I got Mr. Wooten.
Oh, well, I guess turnabout is fair play.
Already, so I got Mr. Wooten. Mr. Wooten.
Uh-oh.
You have run for this position 3 times before. You've also run twice for the or been in this pool twice for the state representative's position. Yes. And I can remind you as to when if you need to be reminded. Okay. He said, come on.
She said receipts.
Okay. You ran during the first term that L.G. Sims became state representative. And then when L.G. Sims stepped up to become the state senator, you were in the room before the committeeman to be that position again. So that's 5 times of running. The people have said to you, no, why are you running again?
Damn.
Well, let's add these up. Okay, first time I did run, that's back in 2011. I ran for alderman, and immediately after that, I ran for state rep. Mm-hmm. Okay, now the second part that you're speaking of, right? That was not running because there was no election to actually taking place. It was merely sitting down with committee people.
You were trying to get the appointment.
It's appointment.
Okay,
exactly.
so
it's not a run.
So you tried to get the appointment, and then there's 4 other times that you.
So I ran for alderman. Passed 3 times against Sawyer.
Okay.
Now, what that tells me, and that should tell you this here, I'm a person who don't give up. I'm a person who's committed because this ward has been going down the drain since his leadership. And when you have someone who's committed and is going to continue to try to actually position himself to make sure that he's able to fight for this ward and keep fighting for this ward, that's the kind of person I am. See, I'm not running on a name. I'm not running because the machine has put me in. I'm running because the people selected me to run, and I'm going to keep running until I get this seat to do what's best for the people.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wooten.
Back to the name, excuse me.
Hello.
You said the people selected you to run. Explain that part.
No. That's the second question. That's the second question. Nah. Look, I see you trying to use your legal ego. I'm not that smart. So one question. I can fathom one question. All right. Miss Asia Kearney, speaking of that, let me just send a big shout out to Fancy Nancy, who just turned 14. I saw her. Y'all give Fancy Nancy a big round of applause. That is, I would tell some more stories, but I don't want to be accused of being biased. So with that in mind, shout out to you, Fancy Nancy. We'll have you have your mom bring you on the show at some point. Asia Kearney. One person, one question. Who you got?
So the two people I have a question for are not here, so I must move on. There are two educators here on the panel, and so my question would be for one of them, but I'll pick Briggs because Bergens has had a lot to say today. And so my question is simply, the relationship that you have with the students, the young people, the lives that you touch, and moving on to this seat if you were to be elected, how will you transition, or how will you the effect that it will have on those children? You know what I'm saying? That's very important because your role is so important in our community, having strong black men in our community to lead our children. So if you were to take this seat, how do you transition yourself where you don't hurt those children to leave them behind?
Oh, don't leave the babies is what she's trying to figure out. What's going on, Mr. Briggs? How would you respond to that?
I appreciate that question. If anybody knows me and everybody knows me outside of here, it's something that you do, that you apply for, but my calling and my assignment has been to young people. You know, I've been in education for 14 years, working with young people in the trenches, as I call it, working with single mothers. And I do have a school quality improvement plan, working with young people. At the end of the day, every form I've been in, and everyone on this panel understands and knows, I say if you sow better seeds, you reap better harvest. If you want to see something different on 79th, 69th, 71st, 63rd, and all the streets, we have to give investment to our young people. So it's no demographic besides our seniors, who I consider our young people and seniors, our protected class. We have to invest in our young people. So that's day one.
Thank you very much. All right, Miss Kimberly Agoin. The question, right. One person, I got a feeling this one going to be a fire one.
Well,
Miss Agoin. You have one person, one question.
This question goes to, because the fact that we have 11 people in this race, and it goes to the person who keeps stealing all the signs, the person who has decided that their sign is the only one that can be in front of the library where 11 people are trying to compete to have their signs, the person who has a staffer who keeps taking my signs and putting them in the back somewhere, and I got to go put them in the front somewhere, and having to just go through that, or keeps putting mail in the mail slot without any postage or anything like that, which violates at least 10 federal laws. So it goes to that person. You can speak up if you want to. I won't throw the name out there.
No, you got to, no. Hold on.
Everybody knows who they is.
No, we don't. No, we don't. No, that's right. See, hold on. So we don't. So you got to address the question.
You know I don't mind doing that, Maze.
So give me who is
Mr. Wooten. Can a sister just get a sign? Let they sign just live out in front of the early voting place. Can they not have their signs swept? Because I got nothing but signs and time. But it's just the idea, the unfairness that 11 people are in this race, and we can't put a sign down.
Well, you know what, Kim? If you would have called me like you told my people you want to do, early bird gets the worm, all right? So if you want to put your signs out there first and get out there early and come and put signs out there. I have no problem with putting signs out, but I do have a problem with people stealing signs as well. And I'm not one who actually go around stealing signs. We know who was stealing the signs because they're not here right now. But we want to make sure that everybody get representation. So I have no problem with you putting your signs up, okay? I saw you put your signs up in little areas over there. But, you know, if you need some little room, I'll move some of my signs over for you, all right?
Not some little room. Oh, wow.
So y'all understand. You all understand.
Well, this has gotten a
you
little
gotta
bit
get up
more.
early to put your signs up.
Wait. So do you got to put them up every day?
Yes.
Well,
we take our signs down every night and put them back up early in the morning. Exactly. So in other words, get up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, go put your signs up like my people do.
Okay. So this is
All the space.
So you know, let me just point this out. Patrick, you had your question too. So let me just interject here just a little. This is Mays Jackson, and I realize that I am a political dinosaur, right? But this is all the fun part of the campaign to me, right? Like, this is the stuff, like, where you got the squad, where you got your people, where you get out there. The reality is, man, the sign wars, in my estimation, are part of the game, right? And I know that, like, it's the gotcha moment, and everybody wants to get a picture of somebody taking your sign, and right? But the reality is that is part of this game. We are in Chicago politics. And I must tell you, to me, just me personally, the game has gotten a little soft, right? And it has gotten a little soft out here, right? Like, this is something that I think we used to take pride in Chicago. Like, to be able to get elected in the city of Chicago, it meant that you went through the battle tested. I'll tell you, the first time we had a campaign, I remember Mark Carter, we was putting people in front of polling places, and they was coming back with bloody eyes and black eyes and noses and all type of stuff. And it's like, now we are arguing about the signs. So I must tell you that I think we've had some progress in the world, because let me tell you, it wouldn't have been a question back in the day. Somebody was you was going to pay for it. One way or the other, we was going to work this out, whether it was on the debate or whether it was on the floor. Now, that stated, I thought that was a great question.
But by the way, Mays,
yes,
signs don't vote, people vote.
I agree, but people act like they do. So let's like that. The perception and the reality are two different things. But sign wars, from my aspect, are part of the game. I thought that was a brilliant question, though. I thought it was pretty funny. All right, let me get back to some of the things that some more questions that we've gotten. Let me see, what do I have? How about this one? I'm going to pick 3 people, and I'm going to just start doing randoms, and you just tell me why. Mr. Bergens. Okay, we're going to do Mr. Bergens, Mr. Brutus, and Ms. Pincham. Why do you want to be alderman of the 6th Ward? Give it to me in 15 seconds.
As a school teacher, I get to see the reality of our community. I have put lunch in bags for our students to take home. I have students working 2 jobs, parents working 2 jobs. I have students with parents are in jail.
Thank you.
What I have noticed is that we could do better.
Okay. Patrick?
Simply put, nobody here has my experience. We have a situation here where we need development, we need jobs, we need housing, we need to reform this community and transform it back to where we used to be. I have a plan. Ready Day One agenda is a black agenda. I'd love to be talking about that.
I'm going to come back to you because I have a question on the planning. Ms. Pincham.
I want to say planning is one thing, doing is another. I want to be alderman to do what the community needs to have done. I've been doing it all of my life, in my working career as well as in my retired career. I want to be a voice for the people and to hear the people's voice.
Okay.
That's why I want to be alderwoman.
Do. I heard do. Right? Coming back to you, Patrick. I got a question for you. So I'm going to go to Mr. Wooten, Asia. Kim, you didn't get a chance to answer. And Mr. Wait. Dang, I got my numbers off. All right, I'm going to go Mr. Wooten, Asia, Tavares, and Mr. Baker. Then I'll come back to y'all, okay? Mr. Wooten, y'all remember who I said, right? Please. Dang, it just went away. Oh, excuse me. There it is. All right. Tell me, what are your primary responsibilities as the alderman of the 6th Ward? I hear a lot of people talking about what they're going to do. But tell me, what are the primary responsibilities for you as the alderman of the 6th Ward?
My primary responsibilities for being the alderman of the 6th Ward is to represent the 6th Ward, to ensure that resources are available and to help build the economic base of the 6th Ward, as well as the public safety aspects of the 6th Ward. We want to make sure that we deal with the criminal aspects of the ward. We want to make sure that we...
Thank you. You could have fit. It's 15 seconds. You could have hit your period. Asia Kearney, what are the responsibilities of the alderman?
Availability, transparency, and being a voice and representative at City Hall when it comes to voting on ordinances and things that will affect our community, making sure that our voices are heard, making sure that we are represented, and making sure that public services are easily accessed.
Okay. Tavares?
I would say restore, revive, and represent, man. We need somebody that's willing to listen, be transparent, and be available at the end of the day.
Thank you, Mr. Briggs. And Dr. Baker.
The position is a legislative position, but it's a position that what I would always serve the people, be the voice of the people, and just try to make a real change in people's lives.
Okay, I have a question. Is anybody going to get the garbage picked up? Let me just say this one more time. And this is just a little bit of my perspective on this, and this is for also our audience. To me, I think that the position of alderman is often perceived, has a lofty perception, but the reality is you are the glorified garbage guy, right? Your job is to get the garbage picked up. Your job is to make sure that city services are there, that public safety is a priority, and that the schools, that you are advocate for the education. Those are, in my estimation, the three primary responsibilities. But I just want to make sure that as you all continue this pursuit, that you look up the position of alderman and look at what the job description does and what it says. Let me move to Mr. Bergens and to Miss Goen. And I will go ladies first in this case. Mr. Bergens, you have been pretty vociferous today, so we'll give Kim the opportunity to start. Both of you, talk to me about the menu. Each ward gets about $1.5 million that people think are the panacea. They say, man, you got a $1.5 million. Fix everything. Talk to me about how you would manage the $1.5 million in menu money, and where would you spend it? Where would you prioritize to spend?
Yeah. So the one.
I'm sorry. Give it to 15 seconds. 15.
How am I going to do that in 15 seconds?
Okay. Would you like 30? 30. Okay, we'll give you both 30.
All right, thank you.
Okay, that's fair.
So that is one area in which when we talk about day one, we have to actually take stock of what our ward is like. We got nicer parts and we have parts that are just horrible you can't even see. This is where your ward superintendent comes in, as well as just very strong planning to figure out what has to be done in the ward. And at that point, we find out where the really hot spots are, and we do talk to the residents about what's going on so we can prioritize where the first things need to be done in the ward. That's how you use that money, because it's not a lot of money, but the things that need the most attention first will get the most attention first. The things that need maintenance will get next, and then we'll continue to maintain the ward. But that's how we spend the money.
That's 3 sentences past the period. Go ahead, Kirby.
So the first thing you want to do is get community involved. I want to set up a committee that is consisted of block club presidents, and they will help me determine how that money is spent. One of the things that we have seen is a lot of the candidates talking about putting lightings up, but I have researched these lights. They are like 75,000 plus. And so when you're talking about adding lighting and all of this stuff here, you're going to lose money real fast. So it's about being economical, and for someone that's been poor, I know how to spend that money and do it economically.
Okay, I think Mr. Bergens did point out something in that was the cost of a light, right? 70 grand. So if you think about $1 million and you round that up to $100,000, you can put approximately 10 street lights in, right? I know that people tend to think that the menu money is an infinite amount of money. It's not. And then I would just put to you all that there probably are already existing lists of people that are waiting for sidewalk repairs, curbs, and gutters. And so it becomes almost, do you discard all of those lists that people have been on waiting for 10 years, Will there be a transition plan with the old alderman to make sure that those things continue? Just some things that I want to throw out there that I think you all should be thinking about as you make this plan or this transition, because we want to make sure that you all do the best job. All right, let me do this. I am going to go, so Tavares, we're going to start, we'll go to Mr. Baker and come all the way back, and we'll end with you. Patrick, name the 3 biggest assets in the 6th Ward.
The assets.
Hold on. Was it you? It's Tavares. No, it ends with you. 3 of your most vital assets in the 6th Ward.
I would have to start with the people. First and foremost, I think the 6th Ward is a proud working class community. I start with the people. Secondly, I start with the schools. We have some of the best schools in the entire city. You know, that the difference in the schools is one of the reasons I want to advocate. We have some of the best schools and we have some of the worst. Schools is, some of the best assets. And then also small businesses. We have some, that corridor is excellent.
So let me back up, and I just want to jump in there. I'm going to come back to you all on that. But you mentioned small businesses, which makes me go to a whole different place. Put a pin in that question about the 3 assets. Small businesses. I drive up and down some of the business corridors, and are there a lot of black-owned businesses in the 6th Ward? Are they still thriving? It seems like there's a lot of businesses. I don't know if they're black-owned. So what would you do to spur black-owned businesses and development in the ward as well? I'm sorry, since you...
Hopefully that question is for me. And I do think there's, when you look...
Fitting.
So one of the things that coming from the school systems is just like when you got that certification, when you got a A on your spelling test, they gave you it's incentivizing. They gave you something. So I believe we have to incentivize the growth of black businesses.
Okay. Back to you, Mr. Bergens. What are the 3 biggest assets in the 6th Ward?
I'm going to have to go with some of Briggs' answers. One of the things I most certainly will is the people. I think that they are very resilient and resourceful, and they here for none. Like, I have knocked on doors where some of them are feisty and ready, but I also would say businesses and our education system.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bergens. Dr. Baker.
Three things.
3 assets in the 6th Ward.
First of all, I'll say location, the close proximity to the expressway. The property values are still pretty solid in the 6th Ward. And then I would say the history and the status that's associated with the 6th Ward.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Wooten, I'm going to ask you the same question. What are the 3 biggest assets or most valuable assets? Let me not say biggest, but most valuable assets in the 6th Ward.
Assets is definitely people is number 1. Business and schools are the two that actually goes along with it. But there's so many different, but those are the top 3 that I'm going to share with you.
Okay, thank you. Judge Benjamin, no. I'm looking at your sign up there.
Thank you.
I can't see your name. It just say on Pincham. So I was like, there you go. You can put your
judge for yourself.
Yeah. I like how you did that. All right. Excuse me. Sharon Pincham. Please tell me the 3 most vital assets in the 6th Ward.
I have to start with its people. It's history, Mr. Baker said, and I agree with that, because we can't know where we're going unless we know where we've been. And I want to put it, the opportunity for business is one of our biggest assets.
Okay. Asia Kearney, 3 most vital assets in the 6th Ward.
I agree with everyone else. The people, we have a lot of engaged people that care about the community. History and culture, definitely, and small businesses. The same thing. Small businesses, small black-owned businesses as well.
Okay, Ms. Agoin.
We have a very unique opportunity, because the people are the only thing that have kept us in this fight. The property is beyond compare. The beautiful buildings and the property that we have and the culture. And all 3 of those things is the reason why I'm running, is I want to protect it from gentrification. We are in a position where we can actually fight gentrification, what we need in our community, and we should not.
That period.
I know.
You stretching the period. All right. And finally, Mr. Brutus.
I have to agree with everybody here. We have great people. We have great churches. We have a great faith community. We have great block clubs. We also have a great history. But lastly, we have a great opportunity. We have an opportunity here to rebrand this community, restore this community, rebuild our business corridors, and the Ready Day One agenda has all those facets part of the plan.
Okay, so we're going to start winding this down. I got a couple things that I want to get out. But, Mr. Brutus, I got to ask you, because this, you present very much, you have a tremendous amount of city experience. I remember when the new thing that they were building with the shipping crates, was it the shipping crates? Let's back up. You have been involved with the planning of the 6th Ward to this point, correct? Yes or no?
Yes, in a way.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So explain to me the value that you have brought to the 6th Ward in the Department of Planning as part of your Ready Day One agenda. I think you've said that you're already doing it. So tell me what you're already doing, or what can you point to in the 6th Ward that you've already done that people here or on our listening audience would recognize and say, bam, that's it.
Okay, so first and foremost, I'd like to say that we have a great opportunity site at 79th and State, which right now is the Mahalia Jackson site. That site is owned by the church, Carter Temple. But what they're doing right now is they're undertaking a Gateway 79 visioning process for what the future of that site looks like, right?
Man, and I don't want to, no, hold on. So I'm going to ask you to stop the clock real quick. I would like to know what exists, not future.
Right. Well, that's all part of the work. That's all part of the work. So the community you see today is not going to be the community you see in 2 to 3 to 5 years from now. That's all part of the planning process, right? We've got a lot of businesses that are coming that are Black-owned on 75th Street, some that you already have seen, and those who have been announced as recipients of grants. We got to be able to replicate that. So you've got the new egg roll place at 75th and Langley. You've got a project that we're working on right now with Detoy James, who's going to be buying the block from Rhodes to St. Lawrence. Then we've got 75th and King, which is going to be developed by another local guy who's in California now, but James Doherty. He's going to be developing 75th and King, the vacant lot across the street from the McDonald's or from the Dunkin' Donuts. We've got Brown Sugar and Soul Veg, who have received city grants, all part of the work that I do in DPD as the neighborhood planner for Chatham, Auburn, Gresham, as well as Englewood. So we got a part of Englewood that I do the whole community, but we've also got Englewood, the part of the community that's in the 6th Ward, that we need to do some other things is there as well. But there we have opportunity because we have a lot of vacant lots. That whole area is tipped, and so we have resources there to do some things that we haven't been able to do.
Would you consider your role in planning in Chatham successful?
Yes, because of what's coming. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. We are about to wrap this thing up. Remember, you have the opportunity. With that in mind, I have any calls? I don't think we have any calls on the line. We probably didn't even tell them to call in because we done had so many daggone questions to be asked. We do have, well, hold on. Golly gee whiz, we have a caller. This is the Mace Jackson Show. We are live. You caller, you are live on the air. We have the candidates for the last chance debate in the 6th Ward. We have Dr. Sylvester Baker. We have Kirby Bergens. We have Tavares Briggs. We have Patrick Brutus. Old Patrick Brutus. We have, look, he trying to get that Irish vote. We got Kim Agoin, Asia Kearney, Sharon E. Pincham, and Richard Wooten. Caller, you got a question?
Good morning, Mays. Good morning, candidates. This is Cassandra J. Mack. Yes, I have a question for the candidates that I've been listening all morning. I didn't hear them address. I am a proud active member of What's in It for the Black People First, as well as I represent BCO, Black Contractors, Owners, and Executives. I need to know from each and every one of you, what will you do? Not what has not been done, because we already know we're starving out there on the streets. What will you do, not only in your ward, but when you go to council floor, to make sure that the bar is raised when it comes to goal setting for Black contractors? Because I'm a Black woman. I'm not a woman of color. I'm not minority. I've been kicked out of that group a long time ago. So what will you do as Black aldermen to ensure that Black contractors are at the table getting contracts that will make them millionaires, not flunkies, but millionaires. Thank you for your answer.
Thank you. And I thank you, and I'd like to add a caveat to that. And it goes back to my original question, because black contractors, like descendants of slave contractors, because eventually what we see a lot of times is there's levels of blackness. There's a big old pile. And what we are now starting to see is that the black space is being occupied by people who are not, they are from the diaspora, but they are not native Chicagoan. They are not from here. So I would say, how do we ensure that black descendants of slave contractors get opportunities as compared to, because right now we're seeing a lot of people doing some really big deals, but they ain't necessarily came from the root. So with that in mind, I'm just going to start on your end, Dr. Baker. Tell me what you would do to guarantee black, and you know what black I'm talking about, get opportunities, are insured opportunities. I'm going to ask you to do it in 15 seconds.
Okay, first of all, I would meet with the candidates and find out, not the candidates, maybe meet with the contractors, bring the group together as one so that we all be on one accord. No pass-through groups. And I'm going to try to maybe come up with what Alderman Tillman had, the concept had the 30% of contracts for black people. So,
all right.
If it's possible.
Thank you very much. Well, you got to make it possible. That's why we got to elect you, right?
Right.
All right. Next up, Mr. Bergens. How do you ensure that black folks get their fair share of the contracts?
So first thing we must do is make sure that when we're looking at these types of contracts that black people are in the circle of these contracts. A lot of times we're being X'd out of the room when these contracts are even being put together. So that's the first thing.
Thank you very much. Mr. Briggs, how would you, sir, ensure that black contractors get their fair share of the contracts in the city of Chicago?
To be honest, that's not an easy question. You know, the city of Chicago has a Department of Procurement Services. We understand what the MBE, it already currently exists, but personally, all I can do is be an advocate. You have to be an advocate for your people to have a seat at the table. So that's what I plan to do.
Thank you, Mr. Briggs. Mr. Brutus.
It's a great answer, by the way. Great answer. Seriously. It's 26 and 6 MBE, WBE. There's already an ordinance on the table that Alderman Lopez introduced that ups it up to a third. That's the first place where we start. I would support that ordinance. It's being parked in rules. Number two, we have a wonderful opportunity right now with the Chicago Recovery Grant. It's actually putting money in black developers. We've got to build it up.
My man. All right, because I'm trying to get through. I want to get y'all a couple more questions, and I think I got one for you. Kimberly, going?
We're going to make some noise. We're going to the Department of Procurement Services and also City Council and say we're not going to keep letting these contracts go by if they don't reflect our numbers. And that's the end. We're going to fight for this. We don't see our aldermen out there fighting for this. Other aldermen are fighting for that, and their numbers go up. So we're going to make some noise. That's what we're going to do.
You be stretching that period like a mug. You be stretching it. All right, next up, Asia Kearney, please.
Not only being an advocate, but also making sure that these contractors have what they need. So making sure that the needs are met by making sure that we have mentorship programs that we're going through, making sure that they know what is necessary for them to get these contracts. So when it's time, we're able to move forward.
Could have put a period on it. All right. Let me go to you, Miss Pincham.
They have to know that the contracts are out there and available. We need to have a pipeline through the contracts to make sure that our community knows that they're available. We also have to create future entrepreneurs in order to make sure that this continues, because a lot of times they'll say, we can't find anyone. We can't do that with anyone. There are individuals out there, and it's our job as an alderman to have that.
And Mr. Wooten.
Okay, I will actually have to establish a dialogue with black contractors. I will fight unprecedentedly to actually ensure that they get the same support that I had when I fought for police reform. And also I want to sponsor an ordinance to increase black contractors in the city.
Okay. We're getting close to the end right now. So let me just say, let me ask this. There's a perception in the 6th Ward that there is a front runner. Just put it out there. There's a perception that the 6th Ward has a front runner And my question is, what do you all think that needs to happen? Let's back up. What needs to happen for, I'm going to go back. Let's assume that you don't make the runoff. Let's assume that when it comes to you, you don't make the runoff. What candidate do you feel would be the person that you would support? What candidate would you support if you did not make the runoff? I'm going to start with you, Mr. Wooten. Because I know you always got something spicy to say. You like, just end the election.
I'm going to be humble as I can be, okay?
Lord help him.
Because we know what to do, punch 52, all right? But if I did not make the runoff, and that's kind of, I would support Kirby.
Okay. Ms. Pincham, if you did not make the runoff.
That's so inconceivable, Mace.
I know, ain't it?
But if I did not make the runoff, I will support Kim.
Okay. If Asia, if you did not make the runoff, who would you support?
Any candidate other than the supposed front runner.
Oh, well. I do feel like y'all got a lot of, somebody is determined that y'all got some issues going on in the All right. Kimberly going, if you were not to make the runoff, what candidate would you support?
I would feel very comfortable with, and Ms. Pincham already said it, but I feel very comfortable with Ms. Pincham or Kirby.
Okay.
It would be between two.
Okay. Patrick Brutus, ready for day one. In the event that you were not selected, and Patrick, you know you got a lot of confidence over that, my man. Talk to me. Who would you support? Who would you support?
If I'm being honest.
Aren't you always honest?
If I'm being honest, it would be very difficult, but I would choose Tavares because I've had a chance to talk to Tavares, and I feel his heart is in the right place for this, and I believe that he would be able to be a good servant for this ward.
Well, thank you, Patrick. Tavares Briggs, if you were not elected, and if you did not make the runoff, who would you select?
I would say I would select. I couldn't say anyone in particular. I have respect for everybody on this panel, everyone that stepped up. So it depends on who makes it. You know, it's hard to say. But I find a reason to support every candidate that's up here for different reasons. So if I'm not in that final two,
you got to pick one, Phil. You got to pick one.
Well,
you got to pick one.
Well, I say Patrick since Patrick said me.
That's politics, baby. That's y'all laughing. Y'all. Let me just say this. Y'all laughing right now, but check it out. These are going to be the conversations that somebody's going to have. Right? Like, real talk, you're going to have. It's only two. Which means that everybody got to answer, and you're going to have to make. And sometimes you can't pick everybody. All right. Mr. Kirby Bergens, who would you, if you were not select, if you did not make the runoff, who would you select?
Any candidate that moves with integrity, but my two that I would pick most certainly would be
you get one.
Kimberly.
You get one. Okay. There it is. All right. And Dr. Baker.
I would go with Kirby because Kirby has a passion. Very passionate. Okay.
Hey, man. Okay. Then here I go one more time. I'm going to come back this way. Who would you, if you had a chance to hire, if you could hire any one person on this stage and you were selected as alderman, who would you hire?
Kim.
Okay. Kirby?
Kim.
Okay. Tavares?
Patrick.
Patrick, who would you hire? Let me guess.
You're seeing the beginning of a new relationship right now. I don't know, man.
Hey, man. You as an alderman, you have to make tough choices, man. So right now, you got to make a pick. If you had to pick anybody on this stage, who would you pick to hire in your office?
If I'm being honest,
when is it that you're not being honest? Could you tell us?
I know who I wouldn't hire. I know who I wouldn't hire.
No, we want to know.
But I would hire. I would strongly offer Kim a job. I would strongly consider bringing her on the team.
Okay, Kimberly, look, she look like she might be a chief of staff.
I have a good job at being employed, so that's good.
All right.
And for my chief of staff, I would have Ms. Pincham.
Okay, all right, look at that. Asia Kearney, if you had you're the alderman, and you got to pick one of these people on your staff, who you taking?
Kirby.
Okay, Kirby. And then, that did work.
I put it down.
No, keep it up. You better use what this is a campaign.
And I do.
All right. Ms. Pincham, you are the alderman. You got to pick somebody from here to work for you. Who you picking?
Mutual Admiration Society, Kim.
Oh, look at that. I think y'all had a meeting before the meeting. And then finally, Richard Wooten.
Well, I need someone with youth, energetic, and filled with education. That would still be Kirby.
All right. Hey, man, let me just say this. That is going to be the conclusion of our questions. I am going to give everyone 1 minute to give a closing elevator speech as to why you should be the next alderman of the 6th Ward. I do want to point out, let me just say this one more time, Dr. Sylvester Baker Jr., Mr. Kirby Bergens, Mr. Tavares Briggs, old Patrick Brutus, Miss Kimberly Kim Agoin, Miss Asia Kearney, Miss Sharon E. Pincham, and Richard Wooten all took time out of their busy schedules as they are closing out to be here to take the opportunity to answer the questions that Black people may have wanted answers to. I hope that we have given you all an adequate platform. We hope that you felt that it was fair, and that it was an opportunity to present a showcase to the Black community. I must tell you that I am grateful that you all were willing to come, because a lot of people have been told that they should not be able to speak on our self-interest. We can speak on our self-interest without being against anyone. And I hope that you saw with this forum today that it is not about being against anyone, but really trying to figure out where our self-interests align. With that in mind, I would like to give everybody the opportunity to give a 1 minute close. Like, it's going to be a hard 1 minute. So Zaviola has the clock. Like, I'm going to start singing. Y'all heard me sing the birthday song? I'm going to sing the birthday song when it beeps. So look at the clock, make sure you're on the wind down time, and knock it out. I want to, you know what? We started with you, Dr. Baker, didn't we? So why don't we do this? Why don't we start with you, Dr. Baker, and we'll just do it in alphabetical order, and we will close with Richard Wooten. Dr. Baker, you ready with my timer? Y'all give my big official timekeeper a round of applause. Give DJ Riis the ruler a round of applause. I must tell y'all, to my squad, to Erica, to Big Swill, to everybody that is part of the What's in It for the Black People family, for Regina, I want to thank all of them for putting this together. One day we're going to have a bigger place and we'll have a bigger stage, or we're going to have less people running. That might be the better. Anyway, now let me say, so I am grateful for you all being here. With that in mind, Dr. Baker, take it away.
All right. As the 6th Ward Alderman, I will be a strong advocate for our seniors, our youth, our business community, and our public school system. I am committed to making the 6th Ward a cleaner and a safer place. I have lived in the 3rd, 5th, 7th, 17th, 21st, and 34th Ward, but by none, the 6th Ward is the best ward that I've ever lived in. It would be a privilege and an honor to become the alderman of the 6th Ward. The 6th Ward clearly deserves the best, and Dr. Baker is the best of the best. Punch 51.
Thank you, Dr. Baker. Next up, we have Mr. Kirby Bergens, who, if he ain't elected, he going to be somebody's chief of staff. Mr. Kirby Bergens, you got 1 minute, sir.
Once again, I want to thank the What's in It for the Black People for putting on this debate, all the listeners. So we're at the finish line right now. Next Tuesday, we're at election date. We are already in early voting. Just so you know, 2/3 of our city council members will be new. So what does that mean? That means that we have the chance to change the trajectory of what our city looks like. So I ask you, what do you need out of an alderman? You want someone that is going to put you first, that is going to put our school first, that is going to put safety first, that is going to put housing affordability first. We cannot continue to put the same people in office and expect different results. We need someone new, someone that's vibrant, someone that is innovative, and once again, that is going to put you first. So I humbly ask you that when you go to the polls, if you truly want to keep hope alive, punch 55.
All right. Mr. Bergens, thank you for your words. Next up, we have Mr. Tavares Briggs. Y'all bear with me. I'm trying to make sure y'all get a solo shot when you give your thing. So bear with me 1 second if you don't mind. All right. Mr. Briggs, you have 1 minute.
When I started this process, last August, I was told that the 6th Ward needs a developer. And it made me think long and hard because I'm like, man, I'm not, in development. But I had to think about it. I said, I am a developer. I'm a developer of people. At the end of the day, I'm a father. I'm a husband. Very passionate about my community. Very passionate about our young minds. And very passionate about my people. And at the end of the day, I think there's a choice that this ward is going to have to make. And I do agree with some people. If we keep doing the same things, we're going to get the same things. We have to sow better seeds. We have to, in order to reap harvest. And what that means is we have to invest in people. At the end of the day, there's going to be a change. So people have to think about the change that they want to see. People have to think about and reimagine, what things have been done. We could play politics, but we need to make choices that's going to benefit the people of the 6th Ward. So I want to tell the people out there, there's a choice that's punch. Let me just say this. Punch 61.
You better hurry up. I'm like, look, you don't have me singing. All right, next up, we have, and Mr. Brutus, if you can give me a hot second. Y'all do me a solid. If y'all can get just a little space, I can get everybody get their solo shot. Mr. Brutus, go ahead. You have 1 minute.
Thanks, Mays, and what's in it for the black people for putting on the forum here today. I'm a husband to my wife, a father to my kids. I went to school. I have a job. I bought my home. I have no record. I'm not in no mess. I'm everything the black community said the black man is supposed to be. I'm also a public servant. I've been working for you all, and I will work for you still. I've been working for you my whole life. And right now, we have a wonderful opportunity. It is absolutely an opportunity. And we need the right people to be our public servants. We need the right people to represent the people. The Ready Day One agenda is a big agenda. You've heard a lot of stuff here today. But we have a plan. We have a plan to fix our schools. We have a plan to fix our infrastructure. We have a plan to rebuild our community. We have a plan that addresses affordable housing. We have a plan that will rebuild our commercial corridors and create jobs.
Thank you.
Punch 53 for
Thank
Patrick
you.
Brutus.
I'm going to start singing. All right. Next up, we have Miss Kimberly Agoin. Give me a second, Kim. I'm trying to squeeze Asia and Patrick up out your shot. And here we go.
There's a conversation that's been going on in city council since the 1800s. And what you need to know is who can walk in there and understand the language. I've worked in city council, and I dispute anyone who says they have more experience than I do working in city council, working for the Illinois legislature, knowing where the money is and how to bring it home. The governor's candidate is not here. The current alderman's candidate is not here. That should tell you everything that you need to know. You need someone who's going to be there to work for you. The complexion of our community should not have to change for black people to have what they're supposed to have. You have no grocery stores, you have one. Half of the schools are failing. No one's talking about it. Black children are dying every day. They're dying on the highway, and the governor only talks about Highland Park. We need a voice, and this is the time for that to happen right now. That's what my reputation is, speaking truth to power. You have heard from the rest. If you're not impressed, punch 62 and vote for the best.
Oh, y'all see how y'all done got the Reverend Jacksons going on up in here. I see. All right, next up. Hold on, bear with me, y'all. I'm about to get Miss Asia Kearney. Asia, the camera is on you. You got 60 seconds. Tell us.
Thank you, Mays, and What's in it for the Black people for this opportunity. I am a wife, I am a mother, and I believe in public service. I've been involved since I was a child, and I believe in community. I believe in growing our community, making our community safe, and helping our communities to thrive. That is what is important to me. Boots on the ground, day one, making sure that our community is moving forward and continuing to thrive in economic development and safety, and making sure that we are the world-class ward that the history suggests of the 6th Ward. I thank you for this opportunity. I encourage you to stand in line, punch 59, and I'll make it worth your time.
Good Lord. All right, next up, after Miss Asia, we have Miss Sharon E. Pincham. Miss Pincham, I'm trying to get you right, if you don't mind. I think I got you. We got to get Mr. Wooten up out your shot, because you know he gonna be saying spicy stuff over there. So, all right, Miss Pincham, you are up.
Thank you, Mays, and thank you to what's happening with Black people. And I want to say that, this has been a wonderful opportunity to share with you my experience and my vision for the 6th Ward. I've lived in the 6th Ward most of my life if the lines don't stop moving, and I believe that there are some serious things that need to be done. But there's one more serious thing, and Kim alluded to it, and I want to go back further. We are an independent ward. We are a free-thinking ward. This time that comes where a master comes and says who we're going to have as our leaders, it no longer exists. We need to make sure that we're voting independently for quality and for what we have not already had. If you want more of the same, that's what you're going to be getting. You need to be sure that you look at the candidates that are out there and vote for who needs to be voted for and vote for who has your best interest at heart. My name is Sharon Pincham. Judge for yourself. Punch 60.
All right, that is judge for yourself. You got me. Yeah, you know what, Mr. Wu? She might have been real. She might have got us on that one. That was a really good one. I'm using it. All right, clever. Hey man, you want campaign warriors. So let me do this. This is the last one. Richard Wooten, you got 1 minute to tell the people of the 6th Ward why you should be elected their alderman.
Well, Mays, first and foremost, I want to thank you and What's in it for the Black people for giving us this platform to speak today. You've heard a lot of brilliant minds up here today telling you all what we can do and what we desire to do for the 6th Ward people. I rode around the 6th Ward, and I counted over 38 liquor establishments in the 6th Ward. Not one grocery store, not one mental health facility, not one recreational facility, or any type of facility for our seniors. We need to begin to make a change in our ward. Crime has actually taken over our ward. Our seniors are afraid to come out. Our kids are afraid to go to school. We need someone in that office who can understand how the system works and put the system to work and hold the system accountable, because our people deserve better. I'm the one who's able to do that. I have the qualifications, I have the know-how, I have the experience. We know what to do, punch 52, because anybody that's not here don't deserve a vote. Thank you.
Well, I heard that. All right, look, y'all. Give all of our candidates a big round of applause. I got to tell you all, you all have done a yeoman's job today of sharing your ideas, sharing your thoughts. And I'm going to be honest, I know it's not easy to come here to the Mays Jackson show for everybody, but I do believe that this has been impactful. I do think that it is a tremendous opportunity for us to make sure that the Black folks get an opportunity to have the questions that they want to have answered. I hope that you all found this informative. I hope that it was helpful. And I hope that you all will take the time. Yesterday, it was interesting because, like, all of these people aren't necessarily from your ward, but they probably know someone from your ward. And so make sure that you interact with the people that are here. I think we got a lot of bodies in the place. Let me see. I got Buster in the building. I got VB in the building. I got my man Vince Bass in the building. I see Tyrone Muhammad out here. Tyrone Muhammad, you back again? Look, he got somebody said, I didn't even know you had regular clothes, man. I got to say what's up to 20th Ward candidate Andre Smith, who will be here tomorrow. Apparently nobody is wanting to talk to him, so he's gonna have him an hour to just talk about people. So we'll talk to him. I see we got a whole bunch of people. Let me say this. We have got to find more reasons for us to convene and figure out why we can work together. I asked a couple questions today because I would tell you that there's, out of all of these people up here, I've heard great ideas, great opportunities for us to grow. And I think that iron sharpens iron, right? And so what I would just hope is that even as you all, because everybody can't win, but I hope that this is the beginning of a relationship as compared to the end of a relationship. All of you all have been actively participating in your community, and that's part of the reason that you put yourselves out here on Front Street. It is not easy to run for alderman. It is not easy. Everybody got a question. Everybody got an answer, and you ain't got the right answer. But I want to commend you all for putting yourselves out there, for going out, getting the signatures, going through the petition challenge process. And now, even as you all face, because y'all got it's a lot of influence in your race. But I think it's important, and I think I heard every single one of you say it. Now, I haven't been convinced of it yet, but people power, right? When I said what was the most valuable asset that you had, everybody on this panel agreed with Tavares that it was the people. I talk about the 6th Ward as a place that when I moved to Chicago, I grew up in 62nd and Rose, so y'all don't be saying, you ain't from Chicago. We moved to Bolingbrook. I went to the University of Illinois. When I came back to Chicago, I lived in Hyde Park, but the 6th Ward was my aspiration, right? It was the Black Beverly. It was the place where you knew black people was going to cut their grass. Their old folks was going to be like, get off my grass. But you drove through those neighborhoods and you said, man, this is a place where I can raise my family. This is a place where I want to be able to see my kids ride up and down the block. Now, I have since moved to the west side, right? But my beautiful, lovely wife, who is somewhere in the building, Carrie K. Steele, native 6th Warder. Some people say that her dad, John Steele, was the best alderman that the 6th Ward ever had, right? Hopefully you all will exceed that. Hopefully someone on this stage will exceed that. But I do want to make sure that you all understand that you are 6th Ward. Man, there was a time when them numbers, 6, 18, that whole area, and we have dropped off the map. Now all of our voting power, those were the power wards. And so you all are going to have some responsibility as you come. There are a lot of special interests that are happening. And part of the thing that I think that when I asked you about aldermanic prerogative is there are people that have local concerns, and then there are people who are looking at it at a larger scale. So I just want to thank you all for taking time out today to come here. We appreciate you. One more time, give them a big round of applause for coming out here, answering tough questions. Look, y'all, I love how you do that, Riis. It made me feel a lot better. Look, y'all, this is the Mace Jackson Show. For Dr. Sylvester Baker, for Kirby Bergens, for Tavares Briggs, for Patrick Brutus, for Kimberly Kim McGowan, for Asia Kearney, for Sharon E. Pincham, for Richard Wooten, for my man DJ Riis the Ruler, for my timekeeper Zaviola Coleman, for Desiree Anderson, for everybody that is in the building. I am the host of the Mace Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Mace said, we out of here. Peace.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack crack smoke. System the milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Lenders give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System the milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System the milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.